What is up, everyone, and welcome back for some more TOC action. It's another Masters event, and we are here at West Africa. And this is the time for some players to really make some names for themselves, really make themselves shine. I'm one of your commentators, Kwis, and I'm joined by the lovely Nibs. How are you doing today, Nibs?
I'm doing very well, Kwis. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we did a TOC. We had a TOC event yesterday, Eastern Europe, and now here we are down in West Africa, and it's kind of a clean slate here. Some of these players, they're definitely going to be strangers to the big stage. I'm sure a lot of you guys will learn some new names here today. That's why I hope as well, and learn some more about some new players.
Yeah, no, and I think it's a really interesting region to watch. I think, there are some better known players, from the region. I think, Skywalker stands out a lot. Even Spag, last week talked about how, one of the better law players in the world, realistically. But again, just a lot of people wouldn't be too familiar with, West Africa as a region. I think, Ivory Coast are really, really strong from there. So it's going to be real interesting to see, who shines on this kind of platform.
Yeah, I think it's great that you mentioned Ivory Coast. They're sort of the when I talk to certain people, that the region that really people stand out as a country that really stands above a lot of the rest in West Africa. I think the big battle we're going to see today is maybe some Ivory Coast versus Togo, because they're the other region as well. They actually have some they have a bit of a rivalry. They've done online matches between each other, like 10v10s, 5v5 sort of things. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops today here, Nibs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, I'm really excited to see, how that kind of interregional, rivalry kind of shows through, what players know each other well, because I think it always shines through in tournament how familiar players are with each other, when they can kind of predict, you'll see really good players doing strange things when they are playing someone that they've played a lot in offlines or, other online events. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, that's the thing. When two people play quite a bit, you're going to see the crazy, scummy strats pulled out, just because, they know each other inside and out. So you've got to do something just to throw that off and get that mind game going.
Yeah, but just a quick shout out to Astro for being the official headset and mix amp of the Tekken Online Challenge. Thank you for keeping us, well equipped. Amazing sound coming through for the broadcast, and genuinely really great headphones. Ever since I've owned these have been my my main driver every day for my own games. So can't say enough good about them.
Yeah, Astro always supporting Tekken, and you really do love to see it. Something else we also need to see is the leaderboards as well. This is a Tekken Online Challenge Master event, so points are up for grabs. You see here, these are the current standings now. Obviously, there's something I need to tell you guys quickly before we get any further. I need you guys that are competing to make sure you go to the TOC portal, Tekken Online Challenge. Just type that into Google, sign up, and make sure you guys are registering and getting involved, because I'm sure more than 4 people have competed in these events, but because people are not signed up, their points aren't accumulated. So, even if you win this tournament here today, but you haven't signed up, you're not going to get your points. So make sure you do sign. Obviously, you can sign up after you've competed in the event. It's just the important thing is getting the sign up done, so you do collect your points, so you can eventually make it to the regional finals later on this year.
Yeah, and just those people who do have points, those are from dojo events, but this is a Masters level event, so the first place today will be getting a whopping 300 points. In fact, all top 8 will be the higher end of that leaderboard coming out of this, so this is really important for these players. So like Kwis said, make sure you sign up to that Tekken esports portal so your points are actually registered.
Yeah, and these Masters events are pretty... We've seen it earlier this month with the other events that have happened in the month before. These master events can really shape how the final the final standings look going into the regional finals. That's something I have personal experience with. And you look at Super Akuma as well, who won his master event. He is now literally maxed out points for Western Europe. LMG Mob won over in Eastern Europe. He is now standing head and shoulders above the rest when it comes to the points, so he's most likely making it to the regional finals later on this year. So this is really important, this right here. And we're going to take a look at some of the matches we do have coming up for you guys here. And yeah, so look, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be Ivory Coast and Togo. We have Akilov going up against Warwick, and Gargos going up against TJ Carter. So these are going to be some good matches. And some of these players, I'm not too sure who they're going to pick. I know some of them who they might pick, but if the TOC has taught me anything, is you cannot expect anything.
Absolutely, because even at that high level, people will be willing to pull out pocket characters again if they know the player well, or if they have that kind of like rough character matchup. And I think for a region that, like, admittedly a lot of us are less familiar with, this is really exciting. From our seats as well, a lot of these players will be unfamiliar to us, so there could be a lot of upsets in here. But I'm sure the Ivorian and Togo scenes are very interested to watch this. I'm sure there's a lot of people at home who already have predictions based on just those next couple of games coming up.
I gather that from what I know, the Ivory Coast region is very competitive, very strong. The player that most people say stands above is Skywalker, like we mentioned earlier. But yeah, the Togo is the other region that really tries to compete with them. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays. I'm sure they've probably never had a stage this big to compete on. So I hope they really put on a show for you guys.
Yeah, no, and I think, kind of throughout the last kind of year and a half, 2 years, I think we have seen a couple of chances for, the African scene to really get to show itself off a bit. I think, Queen Arrow, put on an exhibition event, I believe, last year. That was very, very, very interesting. I think, we got to see a lot of players who we normally don't. And, we got some of those players like Skywalker really show off, just that level of skill. And I think it's really interesting as well. You have a player floating around like Ivoro Akon as well, who, as I found out through talking to our friend Anakin, actually used to live in France, traveled over to the US for Tag 2. So, lots of legacy going on in the scene as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who is more familiar with who. But we have Aquila on the Nina versus Warex on Kunimitsu. So, Jungle Outpost, first stage, good balance of stuff here. We have a balcony break, we have a wall break. Kawis, just from a character matchup standpoint, what are you expecting coming out of this?
First off, I wasn't expecting the Nina from Ikea. I thought it was going to be Jin, but I'm sadly mistaken. But yeah, the Kunimitsu doesn't surprise me. With these two characters, it's very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this matchup before, Nina versus Kunimitsu. So it will be interesting to see how this one plays out. But I'm just expecting Key to just get the pressure game going. That's what Nina really excels at. But their Warwick starts off with a nice set two. Going to be a side wall there. Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah, and we saw Warwick went for an early set two as well, so that will be a key part of this matchup. Of course, Kunimitsu's set two, incredibly strong mid tool, and they're using that 2-2 string.
Oh no, doesn't wait for the second hit though. You have to block both of those lows. Nice whip punish there with the orbital going to the wall. Nice wall splat. Spends the raise grab immediately, but can't peel off the wall just correctly. A nice punish there on the get up kick, and the regular throw not broken.
All right, and the reverse neck breaker as well to close it out with a sliver of health, but Aquila gets on the board early. Very nice.
Oh, great blocking here from Warex.
Yeah, no, Warex, you can already see, has slowed it down a little bit, not as intent on going in, getting caught. Ooh!
That's the second hit, no duck there from Warex. Big low. Again, the throws, Warex. And this is one thing early on, if you find that your opponent is not breaking throws, that's something you've really got to hone in on and just start going for. Excellent whip punish there. I like this combo as well, some difficult stuff. Tailspin still available. There it is, going to the next wall, QCF1. Very nice.
And you saw there, Warex went for that teleport low, didn't even get a chance to finish it. Aquila already threw out the launcher, had a clean read on that. Very solid stuff. And Aquila seems very comfortable now.
Okay, the full crash down forward 3. Messes up the forward 2 though. Fast then into 4. Nice, the back turn launch. Forward 2. No, the side wall just gets in the way. Tries to launch again. Doesn't finish the punish though. Oh no, the throws, and there should be a hit. Yeah, that was oof. I mean, that was just a game of throws there, Nibs. I mean, at round ender every single time, just not breaking the throws. And I mentioned it earlier, when you see your opponent is not breaking throws, you have to hone in on it and keep hounding them with it until they show you that they can finally break the throws. Yeah.
And we saw Aquila, taking the right approach, I believe, in, making sure that throw was used, every round, but not overdoing it, kind of making sure to chip away at Warex a lot with lows, like with tools like that down back 3. And, as well, using the same throw consistently. Because as long as he's not breaking it, then why would you change it? You know, it's all about testing people, and Nina again has access to a chain throw game, you know, similar enough to the Kings, not as developed but certainly threatening. So we now know that Aquila, you know, might have an advantage in that sense.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't get to mention is this is actually a top 8 qualifying match for the winners side. So these are winners finals of the pools. The winner goes into top 8 on the winners side. So yeah, there's a lot to play for here, but it's not an elimination match. You'll still have a life to play with if you do lose this game. So yeah, but this is an absolutely great start here from Akia. I hope Warwick's gonna do something to mitigate this, because it's coming down to the throws really. And one thing you never like to see is just dying to throws. Well, that was every single throw, just not broken. You know, that's something you've really got to keep in your head moving into it. That's something that damages your mental game as well. If you're like, I need to break these throws.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, going down 3 for 3 on failing to break throws, never a good feeling. Warwick's now, will we see a stage switch or a possible character switch? Let's see. All right, randomed. We randomed to Cave of Enlightenment though. Stuck on the Kunimitsu. Was gonna say to my knowledge, I do believe Warwick's has an Armor King as well, so I was curious about whether or not that would come out. But sticking with the Kuni here. Just wants a different stage, you know, take that time, change the mental a bit. Stage, you know, even if you're not selecting it specifically, can have, you know, a big impact on how you view a match as well.
Yeah, exactly. But it looks like Warwick doesn't really care. Just a random select. Didn't even go back to the same stage. Just decided to change things up. And we still have the balcony break and play. And we also have a floor break and play here on this stage as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out between these two.
Okay. Both players a little... Okay, got the teleport low that time. Counter hit launcher and will get the wall carry. This is what Warwick wants. Kunimitsu wants to stay in on top of a character like Nina. Nina, a very string-based character. Nice back turn hop kick there from Warwick. And that is a perfect. And if you talk about resetting your mental game, a perfect will do that for you.
Yeah, that is the perfect start you need, especially after taking a loss the same way. That worked in that first game, but excellent whiff punish there from Akira. We should be going to no drops the combo. A nice use of Hayashida to make the gap kick whiff. Passing in 2-4. Into the set again. That back turn hop kick is giving Works a lot of mileage, but no, Kunimitsu goes too far. She has some notoriously inconsistent combos.
All right, didn't finish there on the low. Nice sidestep into the down forward 2, though, from Akia. Nice.
One thing I have to say is that
Rage Art.
I thought the second it might just come out, but no, Rage Art works. I do have to say, Akia's whiff punishment to me has been a real revelation. That's something that's worked really well, getting him so much damage. But, you know, Warwick is playing really well this game. Really turned things around.
Yeah, no, and sometimes it can just be that time between games to reset your mentality, and, you know, it can do wonders. Warwick's now 2 rounds up, possibly making this a clean 3-round game on Akia. Gets the throw of his own, does Warwick's.
You know, no punish, only -11.
Oh, okay, nice orbital. You saw Akia went for the crouch, faked out the low. Warwick's got caught by it. Okay, breaks the throw
this time. Passing 2-4.
Nice.
One throw not broken, and that should be it. Warwick's returns a no-round brown off their own, and yeah, that one also came down to the throw. So it looks like both of them having trouble. We saw Warwick's finally break that throw, and I wasn't getting hit by it. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Maybe this is time for Warwick to just let the throws fly.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, we saw Warwick get a lot more offense in there. Kind of was a bit tentative at the start, but once he kind of got that initial counter hit on the low, you know, was using those set options extremely well for the rest of the set there. Interestingly enough, yeah, like you said, Akia not breaking throws himself, and I wonder now, you know, will he have something to think about going into the stage or character select? It seemed to me like once his throw had finally been broken, it didn't seem like Akia knew how to approach. A bit too wary, perhaps, about being on low health, you know, at the wall. I think at that point you need to just, you know, pick a game plan and stick to it. So we'll see now if Akia can bounce back from this, but Warwick has to be feeling a lot better, especially after that opening perfect. And Kwas, you know yourself from being, you know, a tournament competitor, how important is having that second game win after losing game 1?
Oh, it is, because sometimes losing that first game in a dominant fashion, like you don't really get any offense side, can make you feel like the game is already over. It makes you feel like, okay, I might just start losing. So having the mentality, having the mental ability to just forget that loss, go into the next game and have a dominating win yourself, it resets the momentum completely. You go into the final round essentially on a clean slate, because you both shown that you know how to win the game, you know how to dominate your opponents. So it just comes down to who can really force the issue first, get going. I think Akia's whiff punishment has been really amazing. You know, the movement, getting around down 4-2s, using the higher sheet of 4 really worked out well. So again, another random select here.
Yeah,
These two don't really care about the stage, so let's see how this one goes.
Yeah, neither player too keen on particular stages, and that's always a debate people have about whether or not you should be overly specific about stages. Some people feel that it can be a crutch. Some people just view it as a thing to take advantage of, and certainly in cases like Kings, on Forgotten Realm, that's always the example people think of. It can be very beneficial, but interesting to see that neither player cares all that much. Akia now, to my mind, needs to try and get more aggression going, because as good as that movement and that whiff punishment has been, not getting a lot of strings in, not getting a lot of that consistent pressure that Nina is known for.
Yeah, we have a bigger stage here for the last day on Earth. And I think the first stage of Cave Enlightenment is a bit claustrophobic, but nice. Akia starting off with the count hit.
Yeah, certainly. You get wall-to-wall very easily on the cave, but a very long stage, can be deceptive at times where your walls actually are. But Akia, really nice early game here, and using that down back 2 a lot. We saw at the start that it is a counter hit launcher. It is also a homing mid, so trying to stop Warax from getting a couple of those clutch sidesteps we saw in game 2.
Again, Akia tried to throw the one out that time. Again, getting the count hit. I like this combo as well. Should be going to the wall. It is Nina.
Nice.
Okay, things are looking really good now for Akia. See the momentum right back, and just finishes the 1-2-1+2. Very nice there, Akia. One round away from going to top 8 winner side.
And here we saw Akia getting a lot more of that string pressure in, getting those counter hit down back 2s really early, so really opened up that early game for him.
He went for the hop kick there, did not work out. Great block and punish there from Akia. Set 3. That's something bad too. Very nice. I mean, Warax really needs this round, obviously.
All right. Nice back sway. Didn't get launched, though. Caught Warax on a float. Very fortunate trade there for Warax.
You're just kind of swinging right now. We're just seeing go for all the count hits. These are unsafe for Warax. Doesn't really... Okay.
Okay, both players a little tentative there. Didn't want to overcommit, did Akia. Nice back sway, though. And if he optimizes, is this dead?
I don't think so, but it's going to be very close. One more hit does it right now. The mix-up. No, the rage drive whiffs, and there it is.
The blonde bomb closes it out for Akia. 3 rounds clean and 2 games to 1. Akia advances to top 8 on that winner's side. Very nice performance. And like we were kind of saying, it was just back and forth there, taking the momentum back. Both players. So, game 2 was all Warax, game 3 was all Akia. And it was, I think, that extra bit of aggression, going for a lot more pressure than he had been game 1, game 2, and then just clutching out with those down back 2s. So, very solid there from both players. Of course, Warax will now be still have a chance to stay in on the loser side of his bracket, but very, very solid performance from Akia.
Yeah, I think one thing I really liked was Akia's use of the higher shooter step, the back sway, and then whiff punishing with the 4 straight afterwards. That was very nice. The awareness, making a lot. That's the thing about Nina's higher shooter step. She can be very deceptively evasive, get around certain things, and then when she forces that whiff with the higher shooter step, great whiff punishment. Just excellent awareness. And yeah, that's going to be the second person into our winner's side top 8. So it'll be interesting to see more of Akia later on. And it's always nice to see some Nina. That's not a character you see very often, so
I think aside from Akia, one of the only people I see consistently really rep Nina on a tournament level would be Bonus Jin.
Yeah, no one really... I mean, there's a few in America as well. There's... The name just completely slipped my mind. I had the name in my head. They're from the East Coast. Someone will be able to tell me at some point. Very good.
So someone's already angrily DMing you right now.
There's one mean. There's actually a Nina player from America, Mean. who actually came to the UK for versus fighting as well and stayed for a bit. But there's someone else, and the name, I'm annoyed that the name, Fear of Silence. No, that's not it. Is that it? No, it's not. Damn, isn't that the dragon? Anyway, we'll get off that. Victim of Ritual. That is the one. Thank you.
We do have our next winners pool match coming up. That will be Gargos versus TJ Carter. So, what can you tell me about the two players, Kobe? You were talking a bit about Gargos and Carter just before this.
Yeah, so Gargos is a player from Togo. I believe plays Ling. Also plays Street Fighter as well, and a quite an accomplished Street Fighter player. So it'll be interesting to see that as well. And I think TJ Coast is from Ivory Coast. We do have a Togo versus Ivory Coast battle here. This is what I kind of expected going into this from West Africa, sort of the battling regions. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't know what character Carter is going to pick out, but for Gargos, I'm expecting that Ling.
Yeah, 100%. And interesting that you mentioned, Gargos, a bit of a Street Fighter player as well. I think it's always interesting to see how players, who do compete in different games, but certainly different, genres when you have the 2D to 3D transition. Always interesting to see someone who can perform at a high level in both.
Yeah. But yeah, so Gargos Ling, like this is a character we see very often. Especially in Europe, Mr. Croft doing a lot of damage with the characters. So I would like it'd be interesting to see how sort of the style over here goes, because I think one thing I've noticed so far about the West African stuff is they're very aggressive. They have their crazy stuff. Like if you watch Skywalker play, it is just balls to the wall action, interesting. So I think a character like Ling with that kind of style can really blow the roof off.
Yeah, and I think kind of you will get a mix of that like hyper aggression versus people who do like to play very evasive. I think we saw a bit of that with Akia, last set. Apart from that final game, a lot of it was very evasive, very movement based, and I think that is something that I heard we will get with Akon as well. Apparently a very evasive player, while you mentioned Skywalker is incredibly aggressive. And I'm excited to watch Skywalker play in particular because of that. I noticed from watching tournament footage, if Skywalker realizes you don't know how to deal with something, he will start spamming it at you until you literally make him stop. I watched him do Dragon Hammer 5 times in a row.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like, I think that's the Tekken thing in general. Like, if you find something that works, if it ain't broke, do not fix it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to force them to get you to stop doing certain things, because it's just like, it's your own fault if you don't know how to deal with something. Like, you should have went to the lab. Then when you're done, you go off and you go into the lab. So that's exactly how it works.
Absolutely. And kind of interesting now, looking at the rest of the bracket as well. Seeing who we have gone through. So we have, I'm actually not sure how to pronounce this. I think it's Kasekur from Pool 1 in on winner's side. And then Hai Sentoki through on loser's side as well. So both of those players are in top 8. Of course, we have Skywalker versus Shaoling on the way. Akilla versus Warax. So Akilla did get in on that winner's side. Warax will now play against Atote Dragon to try and get through onto loser's side. And of course, we are getting Gargos versus Carter underway very shortly. On the other side of that bracket, someone you were keeping an eye on before this, Kawis, in Agent P. What can you tell me about Agent P?
Yeah, Agent P, that was someone who, as I was just doing my research, saying about these players, and also a Mortal Kombat 11 player, and actually won the first Mortal Kombat 11 tournament of 2021 in Ivory Coast. So this is Mortal Kombat, this is Tekken. But it's nice to see another player as well, just multi-game. I think being like a multi-game player is pretty difficult to do. I think especially if like your main game is Tekken. I find of all like multi-game players, Tekken players are the ones that don't really play other fighting games as much and compete as well. Like the only person that comes to mind is like Nivek, who's also very good at Mortal Kombat, and like Agent P. So
Fergus.
don't say that.
Come on.
He's not even that good at Tekken.
But no, it is very interesting. I know we mentioned it with Gargos previously. It is interesting to see, you know, people who can compete multiple games, and I think at times if you can do it successfully, you can learn a lot of skills that will benefit you quite a lot. But Gargos coming in with the Hwoarang,
yeah, this is
versus
exactly what
Carter's Lei.
This is exactly what I came here to see. Oof! I love me some Hwoarang.
Okay. So, Hwoarang versus Lei, Kawis, you are very qualified to tell me about this matchup from a character's perspective. Who does this benefit more, and who do you think has the matchup advantage?
I think this matchup is pretty interesting. Lei being pretty evasive can be pretty difficult for Hwoarang to deal with, but I think Hwoarang is a character who he can deal with the stances. He can still like relax stance very well. Sorry, not relax stance, isn't Eddie. He can deal with Lei's lay down, play dead stance very well with back three. Back three move that hits grounded and then also flips is something that a lot of characters don't really get that kind of option for. So nice challenge on the while standing three, knows that is minus on hit. Getting the pressure going right now. Back two plus. Nice Skyrocket there from Gargos. Like to see the execution on point. 3 steps
Nice.
4. One more hit should do this here. And yeah, the down forward 3. Nice start there from Gargos. I like it. Down back 3 to get started. Oh, mini hop kick there.
Yeah, and Gargos quite happy to start away there by chipping away with a lot of lows. Nice back 3. Nice. Okay, good conversion.
Stylish combo as well. I like it. Could have gone for the wall, went for style instead. But this is why I say about Hwoarang. You see that running 3 there? Why did that not hit? Let's get some Hwoarang buffs. I hope it works.
No, ignore this man's Hwoarang agenda. However, that running 3 should have hit that get up low. Very odd interaction there. Nice. Okay, chips him away though. Does not get to use rage, does Carter. And Gargos now 2 rounds up, looking to make this a clean game 1. Full hop from Carter. Weird.
Nice. Makes a toe kick whip, doesn't get anything. One thing I'm seeing from Gargos that Carter needs to pick up on is when when Carter is plus gets some pressure going, he likes to use that back one. So Carter needs to be a bit more patient. You see it? There it is again. Carter needs to be a bit more patient in these situations.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. No pickup though.
Torpedo. And nice. That's a new, that was actually a season 3 buff Hwoarang. He could cancel the 3-4. Which meant he can go into right flamingo, and the flappy kicks being an 8-frame counter, launch it in right flamingo. You can't do anything about it, you know, if you try and interrupt there. So very smart, and great work there from Gargos. One thing I want to see from Carter that we're seeing is whenever Carter is getting his pressure going and starting, Gargos uses back one, right? I feel like Carter needs to be a bit more patient, wait for that back one, and it's minus 14, punish it, or just backdash, make it with. Get a launch punish on it. So that's one thing I want to see from Carter getting going. But Gargos, a nice start here with the Hwoarang.
Yeah, no, for sure. Gargos looking very comfortable, and I think, you know, realizing very quickly that he can get away with abusing that back one in those pressure situations. Interesting, you mentioned it being a minus 14 move, like you were kind of touching on early. Lei does have a lot of stances to play with. I think, you know, missing an opportunity to punish that back one is very detrimental when you need to transition into stance from a lot of your strings. You know, that is an opening that Carter could be making better use of. So let's see if he can adapt to that for game 2 now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I feel like this is an interesting matchup. I don't really want to say it's in either character's favor too much. You know, I think getting such, like, Lei's evasiveness is super important. Hwoarang can do really good things. For example, Razor Rush. Hwoarang can use his Flamingo step to completely make that whiff and get a full launch on it. Lei's evasiveness can make a lot of Hwoarang stuff whiff, but Hwoarang can really, has an advantage of, like, his normal neutral tools, like forward 3 and, you know, down back 4, are also really good at hitting someone on the floor.
Yeah.
Because if Lei does go try to play dead, stay on the floor, Hwoarang gets some great hits on Lei on the floor, which is something not a lot of characters can boast. So it's a fairly even matchup, probably slightly in Lei's favor, but nothing to make it unwinnable.
And actually, that's a good question. If Lei does play dead, can Hwoarang get that back 3 flip over?
He can.
Okay, so, you know, very, very, very nice option for Hwoarang to have. Gargos is probably very aware of that, but All right, we have Kinder Gym now for game 2. This is a much, it's a very wide stage. It is perfectly square, but it's quite large, wall to wall. So not as many characters can get consistently good wall carry from mid stage.
Okay, no car playing with the stances right now. Nice block, no punish there.
Yeah. And you saw, yeah, Carter going for a lot of immediate evasion there, going for that backstep quite a lot.
And again, you saw that that back one again when Carter tried to get going. Nice. Bullet throw. Again, okay, that back one, some jabs, just does back one straight away. And just like that, Gargos takes the first round. Carter needs to play more around that back one.
Yeah, no, you'd think now Carter might try and just throw out some 1-2 jabs and then wait. But, you know, a little too happy when he does decide to go in. And even there, despite playing back, just keeps getting clipped here by Gargos on the way in. Carter kind of struggling to find an answer.
And we saw there something I mentioned before, that 4-4-3 just hitting lane on the grid, but nice down 4-2, should be going to the wall here. Carter finally getting something going. He needs this.
Okay.
You know, that 4-2. That's a classic right there to kill jabs. No whiff punish there. Could have been huge. Can he peel off the wall? No. 4-4-3. That's the thing. You can't stay down against Hwoarang. Is something I say very often. You stay down against him. It's very, very hard. Nice. I mentioned it earlier. That flamingo step. Getting around the jabs to start off.
2 rounds up now for Gargos as well. This is going to be potentially a clean 2-0. Will get to wall here. Doesn't get a clean splat, unfortunately, for him.
Again, that's +5. The jump over stuff to end it. Gargos looking stylish, very nice. And he will take it 2-0 over Carter and move into winner's side top 8.
Yeah, no, and that seemed, a lot of that just seemed to be a lack of matchup knowledge or a lack of, you know, comfort there from Carter. Kept getting clipped a lot, like you said, by that back one. Was committing, you know, a bit too much to jab strings, but even then, using that evasiveness kind of was getting clipped a lot. Just seemed to be unfamiliar with Hwoarang. So unfortunate stuff there for Carter, but you know, Gargos, very solid performance, will advance through on that winner's side, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, Hwoarang is one of those characters you really have to know how to deal with. If you don't, basically what we saw there happened. But I just feel like, you know, Carter just. The main thing was just, you know, the back one. He was getting hit by it over and over again. He'd do a simple jab, back one, down for one, back one, and you know, he just wasn't ready for it. He didn't adapt to it at all. So Gargos had the license to continue doing it, and you know, moves into winner side top 8 with a great showing. And obviously, this is not the last event we have. You know, we take a look here. These are more Masters events coming to you guys. You know, they'll be going until the end of next month, and then starting in November is when the regional finals will begin. You see, West Africa regional finals are going to be on the 14th of November. See, this is the thing, it's the American style of date, so it's like month first and then a day, and it's just like, it's throwing me off. So I've had
you have to take a moment to like reread it.
Wait, it's supposed to be but anyway. But yeah, the master events will be going until the end of next month, and then the regional finals will begin in November and end in January with North America. So make sure you guys don't miss that. And if you're in any of these regions, compete. And speaking of being in these regions, make sure you guys also sign up in the Tekken Online Challenge esports portal if you are competing in these events. So you make sure you can collect your points as well. Because if you don't and you win, you won the event, sure, but you have no points. So you're not going to the regional finals.
Imagine winning a Masters event and then not getting your 300 points.
Insanity. Absolutely
but
insanity.
I'm sure a lot of people will be keeping their eyes, you know, on the rest of these online masters, but particularly towards the end of October there, like you mentioned, we have Japan and Korea both coming up at the very end, and of course, you know, two of the most well-known regions, you know, for Tekken, for a lot of fighting games, but certainly Tekken, and I'm very eager to see who kind of comes out strong in that. But we will have a lot more hype events coming out through from now all the way up to then, so keep an eye on it. Now, what do we have coming up next? We have Skywalker versus Xiao Ling. Beautiful stuff.
Nibs, you want to talk about these two players we have right here? Yeah,
absolutely. So, of course, we do have Skywalker, you know, again, mentioned it earlier, a very aggressive player, one of the best laws in the world, you know, if you, by Spag's own admission. And I think a lot of people, you know, who haven't gotten a chance to watch him play, he is very, very fun to watch. But Xiao Ling as well, very, very strong Ivory Coast player. Obviously plays Ling Xiaoyu, but plays Master Raven as well. So it could be interesting to see, which character Xiaoling pulls out, because again, these players will be very familiar with each other, have played a lot in tournament. And I'm just trying to think, from my point of view, what character feels like they'd benefit in the matchup more. I'd argue possibly Ling, but then again, Master Raven is a character who I think people are still discovering and still really figuring out over time. What do you think, OP?
I think what's interesting between the two characters, Ling and Master Raven. I think Master Raven is a character that I think she has a lot of -14, which is for Lords of War launcher while setting one, which is one of her main mix-up tools from full crouch, -14. One of her back-turn power crashes. I think the back-turn power crash is also -14. She takes a lot of risks. I think Ling will take less risks than Master Raven in general. You can play Ling very passive, very, very off, away from your opponent, and just sort of make the mistakes. But I think with Raven, you have to force the issue a bit more and force them to come to you. So I do think it could be interesting between which characters there. I don't know who I think Xiaoling mains Master Raven. I'm not too sure. So it'll just be interesting to see which one Xiaoling goes for. But with Skywalker, we're expecting that lore. We're expecting the crazy style. We're expecting some fun stuff. This is definitely going to be a good game to round out our top 8 winner side.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Skywalker, on top of that aggression that we mentioned, like you said, you're expected to see some fun stuff because, again, just a very prolific law player, excellent execution. He is someone who is going to optimize off all those hits, and he will be aware of situations like all those -14 moves from Master Raven, and of course, just being familiar with each other at a competitive level, you can be sure that he's had to adapt to that matchup over time as well. Again, yeah, it will be interesting to see whether or not it's a comfort pick, character-wise, or if there's something specific in a matchup that Xiaoling will be aware of. I would imagine just for the evasiveness alone, and for the taking away the pressure of all that -14 from Raven, I would expect the Ling pick. But I've been very wrong about my guesses in the past. Kobe can attest to that.
That's pretty true. Yeah, but I'm not too sure. I think Master Raven might be the pick here, might be the go-to. Skywalker, we are expecting that lore, which is an interesting matchup to say the least. Lore, a character who, although one of the more popular characters in Tekken in general, you don't really see too much in tournaments anymore. I think some character people sort of just start to shy away from, even though he's still very strong. I believe definitely in the upper echelon of Tekkens. I just think he's one of those characters who, while being strong, they're just strong characters you can go to. Some even easier characters and stronger characters you can go to as well. You don't have to worry about as much when going for them. I think the power creep makes characters like Law, who is still pretty strong, just like there's other characters you could play, so why keep playing Law? Why pick Law when you can pick Leroy? Yeah, you've had the Leroy era, the Fakamram era, and an endless amount of discussion about 2Ds. But I think Law has always been a character who's in that kind of discussion of why don't we see them more. And I think you do have your couple of stalwarts like Gosane is a good example. And it all comes down, I think, to that execution, because when you have stuff like DSS stance, I think that's where people really draw the line. To get that optimal damage a lot of the time, you have to be on point with that execution. And I think, when you have players like Gosane, like Skywalker, who are willing to put in that work, that's where you see Law shine through. But it can be harder to reach that top level of play with a character like Law, despite his strengths. So, again, just all that more impressive, from Skywalker to be able to pull that through. Yeah, another law obviously to mention is a double as well from Japan. The way you see these guys play their character, and they're constantly using their DSS camps while setting 4 off jabs. Obviously the Shaolin kicks into legend kick and stuff like that. Like, it's a case of just like you have to. There's a lot to pay attention to when you are playing the character. Like, while setting 4 DSS is 3+4/4 counter hit, like stuff like that isn't easy to do. It's a very tight DSS execution, and just making sure you get the most out of your simple buttons, like a while setting 4 all your jabs is definitely something that you're paying a lot of attention to. Whereas I said earlier, you play characters like Leroy, down 3, 2, down, back 3, back 1+2. It's just very simple, and you can get more for less, really. So I feel like that's why Law's kind of fallen by the wayside, but still a very popular character. In ranked, you'll see him quite a bit. Very casual, friendly character. One of the more famous characters in Tekken, because obviously his Bruce Lee design. We'll be seeing something later that's maybe about Law. I don't know, maybe some merchandise including Law. Who knows? It's one of the more popular characters in Tekken. So yeah, Definitely gonna be an interesting matchup for sure. But I guess speaking of lore, the character we don't really see much of is a Master Raven. A character who is you see. I know a character I do believe you really need to main in this game because she's very different. She's a pretty strong character, but the discussions around her strength will change from time to time, especially considering who you're talking to. I remember at one point earlier on in season 4 was the Japanese players were saying that Master Raven is like top 10, top 15 in this game on the tier list. And people were just like, well, why would you think that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, Master Raven isn't that good. The reason why they were saying that is because at the time, Pinya, a very, very strong Japanese Raven player, was basically winning everything. Every single tournament. I remember speaking to Tishimon, and Tishimon was like, I think Pinya is the best Raven right now in Asia, better than Go Attack, better than himself. I'm the one who's really doing everything. So at that point, people were like, yeah, damn, Pinya is... Master Raven... For the Japanese players, Master Raven is insane because look how good Pinya is doing with this character. Then in other regions, you won't have a prolific Master Raven player in the same way. Like North America, for example, aren't going to see Raven as strong because it's like, I don't get what you guys are talking about. So it also shows how like subjective you can say people view strengths in Tekken because it depends on your experience with the character. Like, for example, I see in North America, they say Huang is quite a weak character. And I'm like, I can't wait to go over there and show you guys this character is stupid. He is stupid. But yeah, for you guys, do not forget to check out all the socials as well. B&E Esports on Twitter and YouTube, and the Tekken Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. With a huge shout out to Ban and Namco Entertainment for all they're doing for the Tekken community. Right here, giving us all of these amazing events. It's really... it's really great to have this, so truly global world tour this year, and it's on that challenge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think on things like online challenge and like other events that have happened throughout the past year have really kind of done a lot to like lift up the game and kind of support the community in the best way we can. I think it's always very, very nice to see everyone coming together around these new events, and this will all lead to later stuff, and I think but what's really fun as well is just how much all these players are developing as well. I think we've seen a lot of younger players, a lot of newer players, particularly in a region like the UK, kind of come up through these events, and I think it's going to be fun to see how much offline results shake up once the world is back to a point where we have more consistent offline majors. I think players like Joka come to mind when you think about that. Someone who I think is going to do very well once offline events become more of a common thing again.
I think that was interesting as well as when you mentioned that. I think if you took a look at Summer Jam that took place in North America, was how many of the stalwart old guard North American second players that didn't make top 8, lost early, didn't make as far, and some of the newer players you really would have heard of, for example, like Trojan, the Lily player, making it all the way to top 8, Joe Crush making it to top 8. These are guys who have been grinding online. And it came to the point where they got to that point, and then they ended up making it very far. But we talked about this match earlier. Take a look at this right here, guys. We got King up for you guys. The good ass Tekken shirts, they have returned. Make sure you guys scan that QR code to visit tenno.gg/merch to get your hands on something.
And speaking of Law, there he is on his own shirt, black or yellow. Again, that Bruce Lee inspiration coming through on the designs. Love to see it. Again, back in stock, tenno.gg/merch, or scan the QR code on your screen if you want to get your hands on those yourself. And again, it's really cool to see more official Tekken merchandise really coming through, for the last year. Something I think a lot of us were pining for quite a while. And now, we have so many cool shirts coming through thanks to Bandai Namco Entertainment and Tenno Media. So, really love to see it.
Yeah, we really do love to see all the support put forward. But yeah, actually, also, as we go back to the discussion of like newer Tekken players, actually in a small interview with LMG Mob yesterday, who won the Eastern European event, he actually told us that he started playing Tekken during season 2. So it's not even like he started season 1, beginning Tekken 7, right? He started in season 2. And I think that's something we're seeing in Tekken 7 more than any other Tekken game, is the fact that people are getting into the game later on, and they are able to compete with the top players. LMG Mob, one of the top players in Eastern Europe right now, and he started not in season 1. He started at season 2, not even tag 2. He started in season 2 of the game, so like the meta's already being established and things are changing. So I think it really speaks to the accessibility of Tekken 7 and how anyone can really, get in there and start competing.
Yeah, no, and that is true, and I think seeing all these tournaments again through this last year, and all the how the results have changed, and I think what a lot of us are expecting out of a lot of these newer, younger players going back into regional majors. And you look at other regions as well, like we mentioned Joker from the UK, but it's Chicken Maru, arguably one of the best players in Europe, possibly the world. He only started with Tekken 7 to my knowledge as well. I know in Ireland we had Senor Farfalla only started with Tekken 7, his first fighting game, in fact, and one of the best players in Ireland, hands down, for the time that he played. So I think Tekken 7 has done a lot, like you said, to make Tekken a more accessible game to a lot more people. And I think, that is always a good thing. We've seen a lot of love for Tekken 7 really, honestly, stay for a lot longer than you would see traditionally for a lot of bigger fighting games. So I honestly can't say enough good about the game as an entry. But you mentioned earlier, actually, the lack of Ravens, and I think regional meta is always an interesting discussion to have. I think you mentioned Tishumon, and of course Tishumon spent a significant amount of time, competing in Europe. And I think you look at Europe as actually, one of the regions where you would see a few more Ravens, not a lot, but someone like Tishumon for quite a while. You had the Phantom, you have Immortal Soul in the UK. So it's really interesting to see how, like you said, Japan and Europe can be quite fond of a character, or at least have some strong representatives, whereas you don't see the character really in the US at all. And I think, another character that speaks to that is Gigas, interestingly enough. I think, with those buffs coming into Season 4, Gigas kind of there was a bit of discussion around him, but, you have several Gigases placing very well in Japan, and you had the odd one with the Emperor in Europe as well. But we do have our game coming up, guys, and we do have Skywalker versus Xiaoling. So the Ling pick has come out. It'll be interesting to see now how that plays into the matchup. Perhaps, like you said, a lot of that will be due to Master Raven's high frequency of -14 moves. But there we go, Skywalker versus Xiaoling, Ivory Coast matchup, and these players will be very familiar with each other, so I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in Skywalker, this is the guy. This is the guy to beat right now. This is the guy who's going to have the target on his back, the one everyone is trying to take out, get their wins over. And obviously, Xiaoling is going to be the challenger here today as well, but also someone that's a big name in Ivory Coast as well. So interesting to see how this goes. And Xiaoling starts off with an excellent whip punish there with the standing 3.
Nice block.
There's a bit too much there with the snake edge, and Skywalker's going to definitely take this just shy of the wall. Dragon Hammer again. Here comes the Dragon Hammer.
Yeah, there we go. So Skywalker already coming out with that incredible aggression. Loves that Dragon Hammer. Incredible mid option for Law.
Okay, the 1-2-3 into the jab there. Just trying to stuff any pressure that Xiaoling can go. No punish there.
Oh, whiff.
Oh, again. Excellent whip punish there with the standing 3. Xiaoling can do something fancy now.
Nice, and got the tiny little refloat there as well. Very nasty stuff to get hit by. Thankfully for Skywalker, he didn't get launched, but gets whiff punished in the end. Xiaoling first round on the board. And, as much as we talk about how strong Skywalker is, Xiaoling, of course, one of the best in Ivory Coast and West Africa as a whole. So definitely very strong here. Whiff punishment has been a big thing already for Xiaoling in this set.
Again, Xiaoling just poking, taking that life lead away. Good start. That's all in the back. Could have had more. The back four again. Nice. There it is. The back turn down 4. We might get a sidewall here though. So nice. Goes for the Dragon Hammer.
Oh!
Finishes the DSS 1 forward 1-3-3. Nice punish there from Xiaoling, knowing that's -14. Should rage out here to close out the round. Excellent knowledge. That's one thing I'm kind of expecting from this region, is people knowing how to deal with Law, knowing how to punish him, because when someone like Skywalker is so prolific in your region, you've got to know how to deal with this character.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you will just get run down, and Xiaoling showing just how to do that so far. It did look like Skywalker would take that second round, but no such luck.
Ooh.
No punish there.
Yeah, very late on the punish from the mid-coast.
Down back 2, and Xiaoling getting a lot of use out of that down back 2 from Ling, one of her newer tools. A very, very strong move to get into back turn.
Okay, nice hop kick there. I feel like Skywalker needs to start get a bit crazy now to get going. Nice with Dragon Hammer. I like that combo, but
oh, nice AOP. Beautiful
stuff.
catch.
This could go to the wall as well. No, just shy. And the Death Fist to close it out. Nice start there from Xiaoling.
Yeah, no, very, very solid game one there from Xiaoling. Takes it 3 rounds clean. And like you mentioned, Kawis, just a lot of anti-law knowledge coming through there. Very comfortable in the matchup, and that's what we were expecting to see. Definitely, I would assume Skywalker is definitely going to stay on the law going into game 2. So again, it becomes a question of, is there a stage preference, or does he really care? But has to make some adaptations. Got blown up in the middle of pressure a few times there. Almost had that round 2, but just wasn't quite able to close it out. But, very, very solid stuff from Xiaoling. What do you think Skywalker needs to do here going into game 2?
I mean, I honestly want to just see a bit more. I didn't see enough crazy stuff. I feel like Laura is one of those characters you can really just let loose and let things going. I think that's part of the character as a whole. That's why he has flip kicks. That's why he has double flip kicks. That's why he has these sort of things. He has the stomp. You just want to kind of get going. But yeah, he was a bit unfortunate early on. He went for he blocked the back turn 4, the mid thrust, and he went for 3+4/4 and didn't get the punish on it. So it probably a bit late on there. Wasn't ready for it. I'm sure these two play a lot, so he definitely needed the punish for it. And I don't know if you can make an excuse there because Xiaoling blocked 3-3, standing 3 straight away. So it's very interesting to see that Skywalker's a bit off the ball right now, maybe a bit cold, wasn't ready for that. But this is the thing. I think there's nothing wrong with losing first game. I've seen so many times people lose a first game, get demolished, and just be like, yeah, but I was just downloading, bro. That was just information. Now I'm ready to play. And he picks a Dragon's Nest as well. So let's see how this one plays out.
All right, and some people do prefer stages like Dragon's Nest, that octagonal stage, wanting just easier access to walls. And I think Law definitely benefits a lot from that extra wall damage into stuff like Legend Kick, and will take advantage of that aggression on that Oki situation. So we'll see now how well Skywalker can make use of it. But Xiaoling, if he can just stay on that game plan, he's looking good already for game 2.
The thing with this as well is this stage actually really benefits Ling quite a bit because she does have an infinite with the wall in play, and this kind of stage really benefits that. So hopefully Skywalker gets used to the walls fast.
With punish there.
The down by 3+4, the new season 4 move.
All right, I'll admit that was the first time I'd seen that move. Nice punish though from Skywalker. Very nice, optimized. He knew he had the low wall splat there. Didn't get the full damage, but got a lot. Rage available now for Xiaoling.
Okay, nice whip punish there. Skywalker's awake now.
Round 2. Fight.
Nice. Okay, that generic low clipping Xiaoling, trying to step right. Okay, nice punish.
There in the standing 3.
All right, Xiaoling now twirling away, trying to create a bit more distance, not committing too much, and this is interesting. I think you do get a lot of difference between linked players. Some like to play a lot of evasion and punishment. Some like to go super ham, but both players being quite tentative now. Interesting. Xiaoling a couple of times has gotten some sidesteps into stance and not committed to a button.
Yeah, and there's some huge whip punch opportunities for Skywalker as well. Time's really winding down in this game.
Yeah. Oh, there's that flip you were talking about, but got clipped out of the air. Beautiful conversion from Xiaoling.
Yeah, excellent running 3 to chase that down. Now with 8 seconds left, it's going to be hard for Skywalker to make this comeback. While setting 2, and yeah, he just had to try something big.
And you'd wonder, was Xiaoling just going for pressure there, or did Xiaoling guess that Skywalker was about to do that?
I think the problem with that was Skywalker has not done any slides yet, so the threat of the low isn't there. There was no reason to duck, wasn't in his mind. So Skywalker needs to start getting that going.
Oh, the Dragon Hammer did counter hit launch, but it traded. Very fortunate there for Xiaoling.
Not the best punish there in the mid thrust that time, especially in this string that makes it even easier to punish because you see all the moves beforehand. More time to react. Excellent whip punish there from Xiaoling.
All right, what's the Oki here? Okay, just pushes him away, doesn't go for stance stuff. Just wanted the clean damage.
And he's really desperate for that throw right, and you see whiff it twice.
Standing 4. Nice, okay. The little flip up did help Skywalker. And the slide.
There's the slide that time. Excellent block from Xiaoling, but I have to say, not the best space slide there from Skywalker because, from that range, the mids aren't going to hit you really, so there's no threat in ducking. Ooh, he also sort of messed up a slide earlier, so just gave Xiaoling the information, and here's a counter hit going to the wall.
Oh, the snake edge, cheeky stuff.
Oh my goodness, things are not looking good right now for Skywalker. Down back two, counter hit.
Oh my, he just did it.
Full flip kick. He needs this right now.
Hey,
He needs this right now. The
Oh my
slide
God.
this time, and Skywalker barely stays alive with the crazy stuff.
That's what you said he needed to throw. Goes for the throw there, and you see now Skywalker already a little bit more aggressive. Nice back two there to chase Xiaoling down. Dragon Hammer blocked.
Slicer was so much range there. Banana peel, nice block there. Break on the throw. Skywalker with a small life deficit right now.
Oh, gets the throw, and beautiful hop kick gets the proper conversion. Will get a clean splat here.
I like the combo as well, going for Oki. Nice block and punish. That could have been it. 20 seconds left. Forward, two. Back two. Banana peel. Now back two. Nice block.
Nice
and I like that from
hammer.
I really like that Dragon Hammer there from Skywalker, because the problem with down back two is if you block it and try and punish with whilst and four, Link can turn around and parry. So what Skywalker did was he's patient, he waited, then he went for Dragon Hammer instead, got a count here and took the round. That was very intelligent play there from Skywalker as we're now going into a final round.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like you said, you saw he waited slightly and waited for Xiaoling to commit to an option, went for some sideways movement into a button, and did get clipped by that Dragon Hammer for the counter hit launch. So very, very solid stuff there from Skywalker. Was looking a bit rough. Definitely, Xiaoling had that game in the bag, but Skywalker just went ham. It started throwing out the crazy stuff, and that really changed the momentum now. So it'll be interesting going into game 3 to see whether or not Xiaoling wants to change it up here or stick with Ling. I think sticking with Ling, not a terrible idea here. I think got caught off guard and has been playing very well, but does still have the Master Raven in the pocket. It is an option, and stage select is a question now as well. We could potentially see an infinite stage pick, a bit more room to move around, stop the walls really being a factor, which I think did come into play a lot there at the end for Skywalker.
Yeah, I think one thing that's important is to keep in mind is, look at how he lost some of those rounds, especially the round before that. It came off that while sending for flip kick. He had to take a huge risk just to stay alive in that. So that what that lets Xiaoling know is that, Skywalker's actually kind of scared. He's having to take huge risks just to stay alive here. That shows how strong you're playing right now. And the Ling is always an option here. There's no real reason to switch. And just goes for the abandoned temple again. So that shows us that, Xiaoling still wants walls in play, but just wants more space to play around with.
Okay. It should be interesting to see how this plays in. Like you said, just more space to move around, but still having the option of the walls. Of course, Xiaoling has shown, has the setups on deck, hasn't gone for a lot of that cross-up stuff just yet, but could potentially get it on a wall scenario. Dragon Hammer clips him again. Skywalker getting a lot of mileage out of Dragon Hammer. There we see it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, it's definitely a good move to use in this matchup, because it is going to hit Ling out of AOP. And yes, a float there with a wild standing fall. Actually, not the wild standing fall, the magic fall. But a great whip punish there with the standing through.
Stand back 2 to hit him on the ground there. Caught him back rolling. Nice parry, though.
Great parry there on the Death Fist. Death Palm?
Death Palm.
Death Slap. 4-4-2 doesn't commit to the option, though.
Double Dragon Hammer into while standing forward. We like the aggression here from Skywalker. Gets clipped with the counter hit down back 2 into the mid.
Oh,
and there we go. Got clapped. It looked like Skywalker might have been able to turn that around, had rage available, but Xiaoling gets round 1 on the board. And remember now, this game is the end of this set to advance into winner's side top 8, so very important game 3 here. All right, both players just dashing, trying to bait. Xiaoling getting the better of that early exchange, catching the jabs. Oh, and again, Xiaoling just staying on top here, playing this small neutral well.
Back 2, down back 3. The pokes are coming out now for Skywalker.
Yeah, Skywalker again, starting to try and advance with that back 2 a bit. Dragon Hammer a couple times.
Dragon Hammer just hitting AOP there, exactly why it's so smart using this matchup. The back turn side step.
Oh, nice float there from Skywalker. Can he optimize? What can he get here?
No, messes up the legend kick, but it's fine. And again, another Dragon Hammer. And I just really like the way he is using that move in this matchup. It's really important, keeping Ling in check.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems like Xiaoling perhaps still a little bit scared of that slide after getting clipped once earlier. Getting a lot of mileage off of mids so far is Skywalker.
Gets a flow with the dig jab there.
And Xiaoling has shown to be very good at converting off of floats so far. Optimizing. Goes for the mid.
Good block on banana peel there. Into the root kick. Skywalker magic pixel.
Oh, that sidestep was beautiful, but he just wasn't quick enough on the punish. Skywalker, very impressive for the read, but Xiaoling manages to close it out. 2 rounds to 1 right now. Potential set point here for Xiaoling.
And looks like Xiaoling smells the blood in the water right now. Getting going. Starts off with the pokes. Gets the life lead and just keeping it. Staying away now. Down one.
Okay. Checking with that low. And that's something Skywalker has been not doing too much of for a while, checking with lows. So there we go, mixing him in after the Dragon Hammers, now catching Xiaoling.
Another Dragon Hammer right there. Just trying to play as
That's
safe
1-2.
as possible right now.
Back 2 again.
Ooh, that could have been big if that hit. About 25 seconds left. 20 seconds about even on life. Dragon Hammer, the plus frames, the AOP down by 2, counter hit.
Oh,
Nice
breaking the
break
throw
on the
that
throw.
time.
That was important. 10 seconds left. A flip kick.
Oh,
Late on
nice
the
punish.
No. Dragon Hammer. 5 seconds. That
Oh,
was the
and the call out. Oh my god. He faked him out, the little hop, the little dance. And Xiaoling takes the set 2 games to 1 and will advance to top 8 on winner's side. That was cheeky. I like that.
That was cool. That was cool. Goes back turn, does the little taunt, the way you look it, and then
Yeah.
finishes it off with the mid. That was very nice there.
What, you didn't know that was a mix-up?
that was very nice there from Xiaoling to take the game, and Skywalker moves down into the losers bracket. Yeah, that was definitely nice, and there was some nice interplay between the two. I think one thing to keep in mind is you saw that flip kick. Xiaoling was late on the punch. I think that's because Xiaoling was probably waiting for the second flip kick as well, because it's kind of a mix-up to punish. If you're not fast enough, the second flip kick is going to hit you. So probably waited, then tried to punish. It was a nice punish back by Skywalker, but in the end, I just like that from Xiaoling, just having fun in the end and moving to win inside top 8.
Yeah, and we have all of our 4 winners side top 8 competitors decided now. 2 of our losers side. Just a couple of losers games left to go, and we will see, I believe, we have the leaderboard there. So we see Kasakur versus Gargos on one side of winners, and Xiaoling versus Aquila on the other. And we have Hai-Ai, Sentoki, and Warax both waiting for their opponents to qualify through. So we saw Warax get knocked down into losers earlier in the winners final of his pool, but he has made it through. He's still alive. And of course, Aquila, the Nina player, will play against Xiaoling, who just took that game there. So Nina versus Ling, or potentially Master Raven. Yet another very strange matchup, one we don't see very often. A lot of potential for aggression, a lot of potential for blow-ups. Kase, I'm not too familiar with. I can't say I know too much about the player. Can you say anything about them, Kawis, or is this going to be a mystery to both of us?
Kase Kur is a player sponsored by Heartbreakers Esports. I believe in Eliza main, from what I've been able to gather. And yeah, I think what's also interesting about this top 8 so far is exactly like we said it was going to play out, is going to be Ivory Coast versus Togo for the most part. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of those regions is able to come out on top. We're kind of expecting someone like Starbreak to get in on. Sorry, not my mind is all over the place. There are so many S's. Skywalker to make it into that loser side top 8 as well. So yeah, that's going to be another Ivory Coast player potentially. And it's going to be, what was also interesting is how good you can look with some Tekken merchandise. You see right there, you've got lore that is for Skywalker. You know, even if he loses, he's a winner here today because he can pick up this shirt. You guys can also do by scanning the QR code or visiting tenno.gg/merch as well.
Or if you're a King man, you like Lil Majin, there we go. King dropping the leg. Again, tenno.gg/merch or scan the QR code. Both of these shirts are back in stock. And again, just really, really cool to finally see, you know, a lot of Tekken merch available now. You know, there was a bit of a lack of it before, but now we're spoiled. We have so many shirts. You know, you and I have been rocking some Tekken shirts as well. But it's always really nice to see. So if you like any of those characters, pick those up. And of course, guys, do remember to follow BNE Esports over on Twitter, YouTube. Follow Tekken Twitter, Tekken Twitch, and Tekken Facebook for all of your Tekken news, competitive news, and just keep up with the Tekken Online Challenge as we go. We have so many regions to come, all the way up to the end of October, and then through November we will have the regional finals for all of those regions as well. So a lot to play for here.
Yeah, huge shout out to Bandai Namco Entertainment for all they do for us. And yeah, that's going to be all from us for a bit. We're going to take a short break. When we get back, we're starting our top 8, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to TOC Master Event for West Africa. We have got most of our top 8 sorted right now, waiting for a few more games. Things are about to get hot and heavy. We had some good action going into this, and we've got some more coming for you. How are you feeling right now, Nibs?
I'm feeling pretty good. That last game was super sick. I think, we were very excited to see Skywalker versus Shaoling. And just another quick shout out again, guys, to Astro for being the official headset and mix amp of the Tekken Online Challenge. Amazing headsets, for all sorts of gaming. And, I honestly, I've loved these things since I've had them. But again, yeah, like I said, just really sick match there between Shaoling and Skywalker. And I think it'll be interesting now to see can Skywalker make it back through the top 8 on that loser side, because I'd love to see that run back, to be honest.
Yeah, I believe Skywalker's currently playing Sekai Kira and Algerian players, so it'll be interesting to see if we can get any Algerians in our top 8, because we mentioned earlier Togo and Ivory Coast are the 2 regions that we are looking forward to having the huge battle between, but maybe Algeria can sort of sneak their way in and sort of upset things here. And I think we do have our bracket ready to show you guys, for the most part, what things look like going into this top 8.
And as well, just a reminder to everyone, if you are competing, to sign up to that Tekken Esports tournament portal and make sure that you are registered, so that any points you get during any events are recognized. Very few people from the West African region right now have points just from dojos, but all of today's players would need to sign up, as will anyone else playing, because otherwise your points won't be recognized. And remember, the winner of today, this being a Masters event, will get 300 points. All the players who place in today's event will blow the other ones out of the water. So these Masters events so important. As you mentioned, in EU, Super Akuma far and away set for that regional final. But there you see our bracket: Kasakura versus Gargos on winner's side, and Shaoling versus Aquila. And again, High Ice and Toki and Warax just waiting for their opponents to pass through into the top 8 losers side. Of course, Skywalker being one of the people in contention for one of those spots, as you mentioned, Kawis.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, is we have Togo versus Ivory Coast for the most part as well, and hoping for a few more players to get in there. Shaoling versus Akia is looking to be a very interesting match with characters we don't get to see go against each other very often. So I don't know which one of those games we'll get in first. We will find out very soon. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited at this point. We've had some good tech, and moving on, I can't wait to see who rounds out our top 8 here, Nibs.
Yeah, no, 100%. And of course, as you mentioned, we will have those winners games coming up first. And you touched on it there. I think that Nina versus Ling, or Nina versus Raven, whichever one we get from that player matchup, very unusual. Not characters you see very commonly. All 3 really. And now, of course, those matchups can be quite interesting. I think we saw someone like Akia, for a Nina player, quite evasive, quite passive at times. Really showed through that aggression at the end of that set we saw. And of course, then Shaoling against Skywalker showed a lot of that similar kind of mentality. Quite a lot of evasiveness. An unusually low amount of aggression for the character, but is able to turn it up. We saw a lot of down back twos, one round in particular, and really kind of broke into Skywalker's head. So I think whoever goes on the aggression early will kind of be setting the pace for that matchup, and I'm interested to see who comes out on top in that. But when you have Kasei versus Gargos as well, I think 2 players who we were a bit less familiar with, and have really shown up and really shown why they're here. Gargos played very well in his set. Kasei, I believe, actually passed through off stream, so I'm excited to see what we get out of that.
Kaseko is someone who I've been able to find out is a very determined player. They said going into this event, he said, I have one goal, win all my matches. So that is someone who is definitely determined to make it all the way. The kind of mentality you want to see from a player going into this. So it's interesting to see if they can live up to that one goal. And they've done it well so far. One of the matches getting to this part, but this is where the hard part begins. This is where the top 8 begins, and your first game is going to be against Gargos, and that's someone who we saw earlier with that very aggressive style of warring. I like to say the kind of doesn't want to play defense, because when they lose their turn, he immediately just wants to go for that back one, for the down jab, the stuff just interrupt, take his turn back very fast. I mean, back one is a move that's minus on hit, so technically you're not taking your turn back, but you're interrupting your opponent, you're interrupting their flow, especially when they have a set pattern or something they like to do, like jabs into a down for one, jabs into a hop kick, like that back one just going to stop you completely. And it's like, okay, you've interrupted my flow, and it's time to go back to the drawing board mid-match. So it'll be interesting to see if Kaseko, if he watched that game, I hope that he did. Maybe that's something going into the game. He's going to know exactly what to do. I'm expecting the Eliza from Kaseko, and Eliza Huang, interesting matchup. I do know Gargos, I think, plays Ling as well, so could also switch to that character as well.
Yeah, and I think Eliza, a character I always like seeing in tournaments. I always like seeing how prepared other players are for her, because there are things Eliza can do that just aren't very conventional for Tekken. Eliza, of course, a Tekken original character, but is kind of lumped in a lot in discussions with the 2D guests such as Akuma and Geese, and even compared to those characters, Eliza has very unique options. Being able to jump back and use something like EX dive kick to get back in and start a combo from jumping backwards, which is something that no one does. Not even the other 2Ds would ever really jump back all that much. So Eliza, a very threatening character for that reason, of course, has an invincible uppercut, similar to Akuma's Dragon Punch, has that blood gauge, and the blood gauge feels a lot faster than both other characters' meters. So Eliza, I feel, can be a threat very, very consistently throughout a match. But here you see it on your screen, Kaseko versus Gargos coming right up for you. So we're going to see that now. We're going to see that Hwoarang versus Eliza matchup. Again, I keep asking you this question a lot, but you're very familiar with Hwoarang. What do you feel about the matchup? Who do you feel kind of has any sort of advantage, or do you think it's very 50-50?
I think it's quite an interesting matchup. I think for the longest time I sort of said it was kind of in Eliza's favor, because Eliza could go under a lot with a lot of her moves, like her down 3 and her down back 4. And she can actually pressure Hwoarang well, and then with her EXCP interrupt Hwoarang's pressure, which is like the bread and butter of his game plan. But over time, as I've come to understand, and also with the season 4 buff to Hwoarang, his running 3, they've lowered its hitbox, so it can hit lower, so moves like that aren't going to work as often. We saw it earlier when Gargos was playing against the late player. He did the get up kick and did running 3, and it still went under, so that will still happen sometimes. But against Eliza, it's a lot more consistent now. And one thing I actually found very recently is Hwoarang can use his flamingo step to make most of Eliza's Moonglide options completely whiff. So that is something that will be very interesting going into this game if Gargos knows that, or knows how to interrupt the Moonglide. It could be a horrible time. I think this matchup gets, the more I learn about this matchup, the more even I think it is.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that Hwoarang would have an option like that available, because for those who are familiar with Eliza, Moonglide is a very important tool for her when she's trying to go on the offense. And you see a lot of people get blown up by things like Moonglide 3 on counter hit. So if Gargos is ready for that, that's something that Kaseko is going to have to be aware of and have to play around. So here we go, opening with the power crush. Nice throw there.
Kaseko staying down. You actually couldn't back roll that through anymore. You don't have to stay down anymore.
Yeah, no, before Hwoarang would have gotten, a guaranteed back 3 and launched you if you tried to back roll. But as Kaywa said, not so much anymore. No break on the throw there. Kaseko, pretty low life already. Needs to build up that meter.
And there's that dark wave. Not the best punish there on the power crush. Huge whiff in the face.
All right, 1-1.
And there it is again. We see this every single time, that back one. Whenever Gargos takes it, it goes for that 1-1.
Ooh, okay, goes for the string, burns the meter. Okay, gets the screw. Rager.
Is that going to hit? No, just
doesn't. Down forward 1, rage drive, and gets clipped by the standing 4. Kaseko, by the skin of his teeth, stays alive. Was that a teabag?
I don't know. I'm going to say no.
All right, whiff on the string. The jump back there at the start of round by Kaseko. I mentioned EX dive kick. Even regular dive kick on counter hit will launch. So being aware that jump back is a threatening option to have for Eliza. There it is. Tried it,
Yep.
clipped him stepping.
You mentioned it as well, that EX dive kick.
On hit is a natural launcher, but he caught him with the second hit on counter hit on a step. No break on the throw there again from Gargos. Whiffs the get up low.
No punish there.
Ooh,
That's
jump
an
back.
interesting option. The down through front again. No break on the throw there from Gargos and 2 runs. That would be for Kasekur.
Yeah, very nice instant air dive kick there from Kasekur in the middle of a string to get out. I'm surprised that didn't counter hit launch.
Oh,
Goes for the run up
with,
into the snake edge.
I mean, why not? You know, why not?
And that's a move I feel like still catches a lot of people off guard because Eliza, to my knowledge, the only character who leaves the ground for her snake edge. So, you know, you're expecting some sort of mid move because you see her jump and then she's taking out your legs. Nice EXDP there. Goes immediately under any option, is fully invincible.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. That's going to be very important against Wari. Just to interrupt the pressure and just regular DP that time. This could be the round with the correct combo.
Okay, doesn't get the round. I don't think had the damage available. Now, sitting on a bar. Throws at the EX dive kick. Very random. Rage Art here should be blocked. Yes, it is.
I think he tried to whiff punish there with a Rage Art, but Warren can't do that because his takes a bit longer because the Flamingo Step and Kasekur will take the first game. I think Kasekur from Bending, I think that's where that flag is from. So it is Bending up here today against Togo. So, you know, it's interesting to see, you know, people sort of challenge the Ivorian and Togo dominance we kind of expected to see here today. But Kasekur, you know, he said he has one objective going into the day. He has his one goal, and that's just win all my matches. So
win all. I love simple goals like that. I love when someone's idea of telling you they are going to beat everybody is just to tell you they're going to beat anybody. He doesn't need to talk any trash. He's just telling you he's going to win. Yep. I like it. Yeah, exactly, I like it. But that game won on the board there for Kasekur, and it will be important now to see, you know, if Gargos can make any adaptations. Of course, you know, we saw a couple of interesting things there from Kasekur. I think that dive kick in the middle of a string, not something I would have expected. Certainly something I don't think Gargos was expecting. And again, I'm very surprised that did not counter hit launch. I thought that should have bounced Waring off the ground, but
that was the light dive kick and not the heavy one. The heavy one is a counter hit launch.
Is it only heavy? I thought it was any dive kick.
No, the light one is it will not. The light one just guarantees like a I don't know what kind of numbers, but she can normally do the light dive kick into jab EX slash. So that's normally what is guaranteed there. But Gargos, yeah, no character switch, no stage switch. In fact, just 6-2 the Infinite Azure.
And that's interesting as well. You wonder kind of what the thought process is there with that. If I had to guess, it would be just that Gargos wants to eliminate wall damage for Eliza. Eliza's combos in mid-screen, they have gotten a lot better, I do believe, but they certainly aren't all that threatening compared to her wall game. Eliza does have some really nasty stuff. She can DP to like refloat people off the ground onto a clean wall splat. You have all sorts of stuff to deal with meter burn and possible mix. So very, very good decision, I think, from Gargos to stay on the Infinite, wants to move around.
We do like to see in Europe we have Kira, very, very strong Eliza player who actually likes to pick the Infinite stage, because we mentioned earlier Eliza is the only character in the game that could jump back and whip punish you. On the Infinite stage, there's so much space to do that. Finishes the string, no punish there from Gargos though.
Yeah, and that we see that low jab into the dive kick, something that Kasekur has been using a lot, a strong tool a lot of Elizas use. Oh, nice. Okay, gets the snake edge. Gargos steps into it.
Yeah, catches Gargos coming in there. Nice snake edge, has 1 bar of meter, but Gargos with the rage.
All right, block
nice
on the mid,
and yeah, up kick, a nice patience on the egg. Oh no, he doesn't know.
Back one stopped him in the middle of a string. Oh, he gets
the big sweep.
And yeah, no, Eliza's EXDP does have 2 rounds of hits. Had he waited for that second round, he would have gotten a full launch punish, but gets clipped by the tip range snake edge there. Yeah, very unusual.
Yeah, so there was actually a change to Eliza's, all the EXDPs of the game where, you know, it does the throw animation regardless of whether or not it's counting and finishes the whole thing. But I think that's been in the game since the beginning. The EXDPs just finished. It was just, you know, Gargos just not knowing. You have to wait for the second hit.
Yeah, no, or maybe just a bit too intent on the punish. I think some characters can punish in between, but perhaps not what he was going for. Whiff into a low jab there from Kasekur, playing very aggressive now, kind of taking advantage of Gardos, letting him get away with a lot. No break on the throw again. This has been, I believe, 1-for-1 consistently for Kasekur.
Round 3.
We're going to potentially a final round right now. Kasekur, 5 rounds straight right now. Gargos not really sure what to do. There it is, that back one again. Whenever he feels the pressure not working out, there's that back one again. Whenever he feels the pressure, we saw this earlier.
Who knows? Maybe he just... Oh, he needs back one's the dive kick. Get out of there. Nice. Steps away from the snake edge, gets the back 3. Doesn't get the conversion properly, though. EXDP there for Kasekur. Back... okay. Interesting power crush. Back
again,
one.
Whenever he feels the pressure, that back one comes out.
Alright, step into the low.
I'm back 4-4. Nice interrupt there from Kasekur. And Gargos finally gets his first round on the board. Finishes the down forward 3-4. Punish that. Okay, side step forward. That works. Gargos finding the board right now.
Yeah, no, Gargos staying alive, and that was really important. I think a little slow to the punish there at the end, but did get it regardless.
There's all the moon glide 4. Just goes for the slash. A nice easy option there.
Nice EXDP.
I think he tried to actually wait out the XDP, but the timing there just caught Gargos off guard. You can actually block them low. They EXDPs are actually special mids in this game, so you can block them low. Nice break on the throw.
Oh, tried to parry there. Did Gargos. Nothing happened though. Kasekur.
Yeah, this is looking like Kasekur's round right now. Down for 2. It's going to be hard to convert though because of the trade.
And the EXDP.
He's in the middle of the down back 4-4 string. Very nice there from Kasekur, and he'll move forward into our winners final. And like I said earlier, he said he had one goal moving into this event, and that's win all of his games. And so far, he's done that, seeing a winners final right now. Great showing.
Yeah, no, and really important stuff there to consider as well when you're looking at a top 8 is that first game on winner's side is so important, because the difference between being on winner's side and loser's side is so huge, because Kasekur wins game 1 and now he's guaranteed at least third. Yeah, that is incredible, because regardless of whether or not you win winners finals, you still go to losers finals. That's third place. And when you're in a Masters event, when you are competing for so many points, that is huge. So Kasekur has secured himself a nice spot already. You see there advancing onto that winners finals. Gargos knocked down into losers quarters. Up next, we will have Shaoling versus Akia. I've been saying Akia. We'll go with it. But it is Nina versus a potential Raven or Ling, and then we will have High Ice and Toki versus TJ Carter just after that. So really exciting games coming up. But very solid stuff there from Kasekur, and I'll be interested now to see how other people deal with the Eliza further on in the bracket.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something you've got to watch out for, to see such a dedicated, strong player as well, just saying, I want to win all my games here today. Basically, I want to win the tournament is a nice showing. Yeah, I do like that confidence going into this event. And it's nice to see that we saw the rest of the top 8. Skywalker did make it in, so that is someone also to look out for, someone to be scared of. And also in that shark pit of the losers side, that's when any loss there, you're out of the tournament, you're done for the day. Winning side, you still can play around for a bit, still have that time to have some fun, but when in the losers side, winning is really everything.
Absolutely. And I think, when you saw such a competitive game between Skywalker and Shaoling that knocked Skywalker into that loser side, he's going to come back strong. He's motivated. He's already gotten into that top 8 on the loser side now. And you can be sure that Skywalker will be a lot more willing to commit to some of those crazy options you were talking about earlier. I think, if anything, we're going to see a lot more amped up aggression coming out from Skywalker, what he is known for. We've already seen him really making use of that Dragon Hammer so far today, especially in that Link matchup. As you said, it's a very useful tool there. Can answer a lot of those stance options. So it'll be interesting to see if Skywalker can beat Warax. Warax, of course, also performing very well today, as is anyone who makes it into top 8, but never mind that. Yeah. Kasekur in that winners finals. Shaoling versus Akia coming up next. So what do you think going into this matchup then? Shaoling, it could be the Ling, could be the Raven. Both characters, potentially decent against Nina for different reasons. And likewise, Nina, a character who I think a lot of people, apart from, if you have a prolific Nina in your region, not overly familiar with. So it'd be interesting to see what we get out of that match. It's always an interesting point when you have a multi-character kind of specialist in the higher end of a bracket. There's a lot that goes into the decision making between games.
Yeah, I think it's worrying as well. I think if you're going to stick to the Nina in this matchup is, Nina's main power crush is minus 14. And with a character like Ling, that's a launch every single time. And it's an easy launch, just pushing one button with that standing 3. So it's going to be an interesting decision here. For if I'm shouting, that's just going to make Ling a very attractive character pick here. That's something to think about. Also, another thing I want to say as well, with all we talked of Togo and Ivory Coast and briefly about Algeria doing so well here today. I think it's interesting that the first player to make it to winners final is actually from Nitho's region, is from Benin. So it's very nice to see a representation from that region out there as well. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm interested to see how Kasekur does for the rest of the event here today. But players like Gargos, I think Gargos is on a collision course potentially with Star. I want to say Skywalker, and I say Starbreaker. I don't know why, but Skywalker potentially on a collision course with Skywalker as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out as well. So it's nice to still be in the winner's side playing right now, because we still we'll see the players at least 2 more times, because they have that extra life to play with before they go down into losers, the 1 game to lose. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how this goes. Like this is a pleasant surprise here today. I didn't have any predictions or expectations going in. This is a completely blank slate for me here today. And also seeing Skywalker lose, as much as wanted to see him perform well, he's the guy to really look out for. It's exciting to see someone like that lose, because it's like, okay, maybe a change of the guard here. This is the guy everyone should be scared of going into the tournament, but he's already down there and loses. So showing that he can be beaten is very interesting.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think, again, you talk about a player like Xiaoling, was in that discussion for, better the players who are known to be stronger from the region. But I think certainly showing off a lot of that matchup knowledge that you were talking about earlier with Law, a character that not many people know very well, a character that a lot of people tend to struggle with. But, if you happen to be one of the people who has a strong Law in your region, you will have to learn it. And I think Xiaoling really showed that off. And I think a lot of these discussions about, unique characters or characters you don't see as much are a bit more interesting when you're having a regional event. I think when you're looking at internationals, there can be a lot more blow-ups from a character like Nina, from a Master Raven. But when this is just West Africa, when it is all these players and regions that interact with each other a lot, there's going to be a lot more familiarity in these matchups. So I think it really shows through just how much they put into it. And I think you look at tournament VODs or tournament results over the past year, in particular, the West African region has been very active on a competitive level. There's been so many online events just this last few months alone. And I think, you do see a lot of back and forth in results. There is a lot of players who have the potential to win on any given day. So I think we're seeing, like you said, a lot of interesting results so far. But honestly, anyone in this top 8 could walk away with the win, could walk away with those 300 points. Like you mentioned, it'll be interesting to see how Kasekur does, but guaranteed minimum 3rd is a very, very solid spot to be.
Yeah, it's a very nice position to be in as well, getting to that winners final. But speaking from experience, you can get to that winners final, you can get to that grand finals winners side, you can still lose it all. I'm not traumatized at all. But it is a possible thing that can happen. So it's important to not get complacent.
Didn't you go up 2-0 on winner's side before that happened to you as well?
Before what happened? I don't know what you're on about.
What you talking about when you got reverse swept? Yeah.
Bro, I don't even play Tekken. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so it is very interesting to see how this is going to develop. Like I said, seeing someone like Skywalker go down, the guy we're expecting to go very far in this tournament into loser bracket, shows he can be beaten, shows anyone can really take this whole event. But remember, everybody, this is the TOC Masters event for West Africa. Like we said earlier, it is a truly global online challenge. This year, so many regions are taking part, and part of that region here it is West Africa. So we're getting into our next game. Right now, I believe we should still be on our winner's side. It is going to be, no surprise, Zakia versus Xiaoling and Nina versus Ling. And like I said earlier, I think that -14 power crush makes Ling a very attractive pick in this matchup.
because you mentioned that standing 3 being a 14 frame launcher. We say launcher, it's kind of, it's one of those weird, like, you know, knockdown launchers, but, you know, she can get a solid combo from it. Very solid option. And I think, you know, being aware of something like that, which I'm sure Xiaoling is, would make something like the Power Crush a tool that perhaps Akia is afraid to use, and you can be sure these players are familiar with each other. Akia will be aware of that, so it'll be interesting to see how Akia adjusts their game plan to deal with it. Okay, backflip. Not something you see very often. The Power Crush through the running 3. We mentioned the Power Crush. There it is.
You mentioned it like that, though. Nice start.
Oh, nice there. And you mentioned that earlier, that down back 2 into the parry from Ling. Down back 2 counter hit, though, from Akia. Both characters very strong down back 2s. Nice parry into the chain.
And the chains break the arm.
Okay, went for that QCF2 there, but nice stand up from Xiaoling. Blonde Bomb closes out round 1, though, and Akia with a very strong round 1 there on the board.
Speaking of the regions, this is the regional matchup we were expecting to going into this event. Top 8, you have Ivory Coast versus Togo, so let's see if Akia can get one over in the Ivory Coast here. This is the region everyone talked about as the best in West Africa, so let's see that. But nice count here there from Xiaoling. We are going to the wall, and this is where Ling shenanigans happen. I like that combo as well.
Yeah, no, very solid little pickup there. Forward 3, 2 times there from Akia. Gets clipped, though, by the orbital on the way in. And 1 round apiece right now in game 1.
Round 3. Fight.
All right, jab. Oh, okay, nice mid-thrust.
We'll be able to carry to the wall here. No, we're going to be just shy. There's that Death Palm, and nice use of the AOP 2-1 there. Carries off of the wall as well. Death Palm to finish the combo. Maximum damage. Nice spring kick there from Akia. Rage available. Nice float, but doesn't commit. But no duck there from Akia. A nice duck there from Xiaoling.
That while standing 1/1+2 is a high ender there, and Xiaoling was ready for it. 2 rounds to 1. Xiaoling potentially looking at taking game 1 here. Backflip there from Akia, though. Strangely using that option quite a lot. Nice sidestep on the Blonde Bomb. There we go. Knockdown into the flip. Akia didn't know that you have to forward roll for that.
Now Xiaoling with quite a big life as well on the infinite stage. There's so much space to dance around.
Ooh, nice.
Akia just throwing out the launch there. Looks like it catches. And that's something we saw from Akia earlier. The whiff punishment was amazing. Gonna go for the armbar. Yes.
All right, well, let's see. Okay, here. Okay, just runs in.
A nice duck. Rage available.
Clipped.
Doesn't do the rage drive, though. Was that a misinput there from Xiaoling? Or 1-2 anyway.
The whiff on the rage drive there. And you saw the duck there from Akia, but wasn't quite ready for it. Didn't get the correct punish. Had the chance to launch there and close out that round, but just went for that while standing 4, I believe. And I think that closed out the game there. So very solid, though, from Xiaoling, taking game 1, 3 rounds to 1. And now the pressure is on Akia. I don't think Akia was too particular about stage picks earlier, so I can't imagine they will be now. But certainly a bit of back and forth going on there. Xiaoling just getting the better of a lot of those interactions.
And here's the thing as well, that being the Devil's Pit stage is such an interesting stage to have as your first pick, because it means that you get to see how you play with the walls and without the walls, and you get to make your decision there, what you felt like you work better with. In my opinion, Xiaoling really flourished when we got to the infinite stage. So much space to move around and dance. Ling such an evasive and scary character to approach, especially with characters like Nina. I think Nina is probably the character in the game that has the most hitbox problems. You know, some of her moves can just whiff for no reason. She really struggles. Like her downfall 1 can be really inconsistent. Some moves can be really inconsistent. So it's very hard to get in. And then when you factor in the fact that, you know, Ling is also evasive as well, that can make things even more difficult for Nina. So if I'm going to be Akia, I'm going to want to keep a walls in play, and definitely a smaller stage as well, just so Xiaoling doesn't have that space to dance around.
Yeah, no, 100%. I definitely agree with you there. And I think you mentioned, you know, the kind of like the duality of that stage, being able to, you know, judge, you know, whether or not walls or infinite suit you better. I think it's important for both the winner and the loser, because, you know, say you win game 1 on that stage, you lose game 2, you know, going into game 3, you know, what you want to switch back to. But interestingly enough, we have a character switch here coming out from Akia, going to Katarina. So Katarina, a character that I feel like has certainly picked back up a bit of favor, you know, kind of certainly in season 4, somewhat in season 3. Katarina was super strong in earlier competitive seasons of the game, but then fell off, but I think is in a decent spot now, according to a lot of people. So interesting to see now how Akia performs in game 2.
Yeah,
Round
interesting
one.
as well. I feel like a character switch may be warranted there. Like I kind of pointed out the issues there why Nina could be a bit of a problem in this match. But excellent whiff punish there from Akia. We saw it earlier with the Nina. Whiff punishment was really on point, and we're seeing more of it here right now. And Karina character, I think, with the walls in play gets super high damage. Nice magic 4 there, but the wall doesn't help out.
Yeah, no, and you mentioned that damage there from Katarina. Oh, very nice conversion here from Xiaoling. Should get the balcony break off this. Oh, doesn't go for it?
Yeah, didn't want it. Wanted to do some fight stuff with the magic 4 again.
Yeah.
Akia, the Katarina already looking better right now.
Yeah, no, and Xiaoling there was trying to spike Akia into the ground to maybe go for some of that flip over stuff. Never mind, though, gets caught by the snake edge. We should go to wall, just about. We're in the corner now. This can be a bit of a finicky situation. Oh, tried for the back swipe.
Yeah, big launch that did not work out.
Oh, nice
but-
magic 4.
Yep, I like the combos. Always should be going to the balcony. Is
Yes.
Akia going to break it? No, wants to
No.
keep it.
And I like that. I like players showing restraint at times on floor breaks, on balcony breaks. Sometimes maintaining your positioning can be more important.
Just life lead right now for Akia running 3. Okay, back turn. You have to be scared of Link because that rage drive is coming. Running 3. Big jab to interrupt. Big whiff there. Akia. Oh, that was a huge risk there, I think, of all the lows to do. Doing one of the more reactive ones, the down 4-3+4, not the right option there. Shouting saw that one all day.
Yeah, no, and I think Akia's thought process there was probably around the evasion of the move, how low to the ground Katarina goes, but still got caught. Clips him with the counter hit there on the sidestep. Didn't get much off of it, though. Bit of an awkward situation. Shelling now into back turn again. Ooh, very nice.
That was a great duck on Harry one that set up that situation there, but shouting back in control, and we're just okay. Well, we're having a dance party now.
Yeah, no, this round has certainly been very interesting for hitboxes. Nice, they're back one from Xiaoling.
And we're still
Oh, the magic 4 and the trade, though. Xiaoling got saved by the trade there. Akia would have gotten a full conversion otherwise.
Rage available for Akia. About 10 seconds left. Katarina can turn everything around with one launch here. Nice, use the back turn. Jumps over the hot kick. This should be punished, and it is by shouting. One round away from moving into the winners final.
And you mentioned that actually earlier that wall damage from Katarina is super huge, but even just with that rage drive, Katarina's damage is quite impressive. Gets an unscaled grounded hit, so always spikes super hard. Nice damage though coming from Xiaoling here on the wall.
Oh, I think we saw that dance again, but oh my, yeah, Akia has to make something happen. A big launch. Sabo does not help out. Big Roo kicks.
Alright, just getting clipped down now by Xiaoling. Xiaoling looking very comfortable.
Yeah,
Nice, gets the throw though.
Yeah, no
rage
break on the
drive
throw.
available.
Rage available for both right now.
There's a rage drive, plus frames.
Nice.
Looks the
Duck
throw.
back turn and the what?
What was that? Hold on.
Can we see that again, please? Because I like what was that?
What was that?
What was that? Like Link just turn around.
Did she do a low jab, turn around, do another one, and then turn back again and do another one?
I don't know. Tekken does these things sometimes. But with that, Charlie moves into the winners finals here to play against Kaseka. But we are not done. With that, Akia will only go down to losers final. They are not done yet. They're still in the top 8. Still so much to play for. I don't know what Ling decided to do there, but that was interesting. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I mean, that was fun. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know what happened, but it was fun. And that's what Tekken is all about, having fun. I hope you're having fun. So everyone at home is having fun.
Great time. I'm
I hope
having a great
the players
time.
having fun. I hope everyone's having fun. That's what Tekken is all about. Especially these huge masters events. It's not about winning, it's about having fun. Unless you're a Kaseka, your job is to win every game. Then you have fun.
I like how it's not about winning, it's about having fun when you lose.
Yeah.
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 I like it's fine, he admits it, but we do hope everyone watching is having a good time, and thank you very much for being with us. Thanks again, of course, to Tenno Media and for Bandai Namco Entertainment for putting on this Masters event and all this these online challenge series. We will be going, of course, through October. You see it there, all those online Masters events. Get your dates down, watch your favorite regions, and then the regional finals will be happening throughout November and kind of into early next year there, as you see as well. Korea and North America happening in January. So that should be fun. We have a lot of Tekken to go for the next few months. It's going to be super, super sick. And we are coming up now on our loser side top 8 matches shortly. I believe we should have High Ice and Toki versus TJ Carter coming up first, and then we will have Skywalker versus Warax on the other side.
Yeah, and these are names we've all seen so far for the most part. High Ice and Toki is going to be this is going to be the first time we see them all day. So it's interesting to see what he brings to the table. The winner of that game will be playing against Akia, and then the winner of Skywalker versus Warax will be playing against Gargo. So, you know, we talked about, you know, it looks like Ivory Coast is on the up and up right now, but, you know, Togo is still staying alive. I think the Skywalker Works game will be really interesting. We could see one of the Ivorian players knocked out of the tournament, but you know, yeah, this is exactly what we expected going into this. But you know, Kaseko from Benin, you know, making it to winners final. Who just is here to win all of their games. That's the objective here today.
Objective, and I like that as well. You know, not being concerned with any of this regional rivalry stuff. You know, just being here to win, being here to take names. And we will have High Ice and Toki versus Carter coming up next. You see it there at the bottom of your screen. And of course, you know, we have the placement roll there at the bottom from the dojo events. Of course, you know, everyone who places in this master event now will pass a lot of those players. But do remember, if you are playing in any of the events coming up, to make sure you are registered on the Tekken Esports tournament portal, so that all of your results from your region are recorded. It would be an awful shame to win an event and not get your points recorded if you want to move on to those regional finals.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone in this top 8 is going to end up being the top 8 of the finals we have. So, you know, this is important. This is going to shape the entire leaderboard right now. But here we go. Our next game is going to be High Ice and Toki. Going up on TJ Car, who saw early. High Ice and Toki repping that Armor King. And I actually learned that High Ice and Toki is actually an aspiring actor. So hopefully, you know, this is his audition right here. Like, I want to see some fancy stuff. I want to see some emotion. I want to really feel more than I see here right now. High Ice and Toki. So this is a huge audition for you right now. Don't forget TJ Carr, the late player we saw earlier.
Yeah, and we saw Carter earlier, quite pretty evasive. You know, it wasn't overly aggressive from what I can recall, but you know, it will be interesting to see if there is a difference in approach here. High Ice and Toki, of course, repping Armor King, as you said. Armor King, for all of our talk of characters we don't see very much, you do not see very much Armor King at a competitive level.
Armor King has always been one of the more popular players casually. You know, one of the highest usage rate in ranks for a very long time. But recently, with the suite of buffs that he got, competitively has been a much more viable option. We see more people going to him right now. And here we go. High Ice and Toki definitely happy with a lot of those buffs there. Nice block. Down back 2-4, no duck there from Carter. And nice one. Huge clotheslines that ended there.
Picks him up as well. Get off the ground. All right, that 4-4 neutral 2, that nut punch, very important for Armor King, is the counter hit launcher as well as a low.
No, not ready. No patient there for the last hit of the string, but nice get up through there.
Ooh, off axis did not pick up as he should have. The tombstone, big damage here. Will we get Oki? No, backs off, goes for the drop kick. Low drop kick again. Low drop kick again.
Guaranteed. There was a guaranteed stop there. Didn't take it, but the run up to down 3. High Ice and Toki looking good right now.
Look at the dash dance there at the end. 2 rounds up is High Ice and Toki feeling himself. Carter a bit slow to start here. Tried to be a bit more aggressive. That low drop kick doing work. Nice Shining Wizard.
Very nice Shining Wizard there. Instant there, but no. Basically, the play dead stance very evasive. You have to be ready, and High Ice and Toki just watch there. Gets a launch for his trouble. Big spring kick into the moonsault.
Try for the unblockable. Yeah, that moonsault can catch people off guard. Carter was ready for it though.
And nice big hop kick. Respects nothing. Goes to the wall. This could be the round with the correct combo. Yes, it is. Very nice there from High Ice and Toki. He takes the first game.
Yeah, that string so important for Armor King at the wall. Really gets a lot of extra damage. You know, that last hit can spike. And, you know, just puts you in a really awkward position. Armor King, you know, as you mentioned, has gotten a good bit better. I think is a much more competitively viable character now, but has always kind of had a few options that can really catch people off guard if they're not ready for them. You mentioned that unblockable moonsault, particularly by the wall, a very problematic tool to deal with as a defender. You know, stuff like that forward neutral 2 low, and just that grab game as well. Armor King has always been a really interesting one for that reason, a mix sort of between a mishmash Makima with that crouch dash play style and the grappler stuff, from King as well. Armor King, historically, a very popular character, a very strong character in the tag entries to the series. I think in Tag 1 and Tag 2, Armor King saw a lot of play. So really interesting now to see more Armor Kings showing up in Tekken 7. I think, like you said, a very popular character, very well received when he was announced. So I always like to see him doing well.
And that was the thing from Tag 2 to Tekken 7. Back in Tag 2, Armor King was pretty strong, mainly because he had such good generic tools. His down forward 1, down 4, his jab were very good back in Tag 2. Then you come to Tekken 7, it's a game where a lot of the casts had very good, strong generic tools, which meant that Armor King essentially became obsolete in that regard. So they had to buff him in other ways, make stuff like his down at 1+2 account hit launcher. TJ Cut with the Dragunov pick. This is a JDCR match right now, Armor King versus Dragunov. Interesting how this one plays out, but yeah, the buffs they had to do to Armor King to sort of make him more viable now, considering his generic tools not being great. They buff the damage on his chain throws, trying to make him more unique, make people play a certain type of style with the character, because I feel like Armor King is one of those characters you buff in the wrong way can become a bit overbearing to deal with. So it's interesting they managed to do that, while also keeping him pretty nice to play against.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, the fear with a character like Armor King is always something like over buffing a tool such as Dark Upper or such as, his grabs. But nice low parry there to start out the round from Sentoki, gets the conversion, dropped it there at the end, missed just short on the lariat. Nice while standing here from Carter, playing a lot more aggressive already, a lot of buttons.
Oh, nice big block on the down back 3. Not the best option to go for there. TJ Carter should be able to carry the wall, the right combo. This is Dragunov. Nice ends the combo with the shoulder. No punish there on the get up kick. 1-1, down 2. Excellent start there by Carter. Great change.
And, very solid low, of course, that down 2 from Dragunov. Gets the headbutt throw, though, does high Sentoki. Very important break for Carter. That is a 2 break, I believe. And that is one of Armor King's strongest throws, can catch people off guard quite a lot. Nice Dark Upper with punish.
The Dark Upper, but can't come up with the combo. Went to the CD1 straight after, but huge giant swing. If he techs, it's not. Oh, no tech there.
Very important, that tech on ground when you hit the ground can save you, but if you don't, you take a little bit of extra damage. Carter failed. Does get the wall carry though, but this is a much more aggressive game too.
Great parry there from Carter. Great awareness. Down 2. This is a great round for Carter. A high Sentoki back to the wall. A giant swing could really turn the entire round. One nice alley kick. Small punish on the follow-up. Down 2 again into the wild standing 1. Carter really good right now.
Round 4. Fight.
All right, down 2 at the round start. And interesting, we saw High Sentoki get that low parry at the start of round 1, and Carter there going for a low again. I wonder if that was familiarity, perhaps.
And that was actually a nice hop kick there. I think High Sentoki was expecting Carter to go for, expecting to think about the throw there. And as I'm speaking, High Sentoki just steamrolls through that round. These two are going very fast right now.
Yeah, no, very ham. I think a lot of aggression from both players. Want to close this out quickly. That down back 3 clips him. Forward, neutral 2. And just look at this pressure.
Oh my goodness. And this is our first elimination match of the day. The loser does go home. So nice. Back 1+4. One more. Oh, we're not like this. Huge whiff there. The dash up into hop kick. High Sentoki is going to take this round and the game, and Carter will go home. And that's a successful audition there from High Sentoki. Yeah. Moves on in the top 8.
Our aspiring actor, solid performance. But, very unfortunate there for Carter. Has been eliminated, but, has still gotten into the top 8, is at that joint 7th place, will place, and will, again, pass the people currently on that leaderboard from the dojo events. So, very, very solid stuff today from Carter. But High Sentoki will advance on and will go on to play Akia later on the loser's side. But of course, next we are waiting on that Skywalker versus Warax match. So this should be very interesting. Both players putting in solid work today. But Skywalker, I think you were kind of touching on it earlier, Kwis, has something to prove now. A very close game against Xiaoling, just lost out, and has proven already to be an incredibly aggressive player, known to be one of the stronger players in the region, one of the best laws in the world. So I think Skywalker wants to get back and, take on Xiaoling again later on.
Yeah, that is what Spag said. Skywalker, one of the best law players in the world. So it's interesting. That's high praise, especially coming from someone like Spag. So it'll be interesting to see how he battles against the adversary here. Already in the losers bracket, has something to prove at this point. Definitely someone to be worried about going into this. Obviously, Warax as well. This is another Ivory Coast versus Togo match. Warwick's probably going to come back with that Kunimitsu as well. So it'll be interesting to see Skywalker's Kunimitsu knowledge, because, you know, this is something we've seen quite a bit. She is the second newest character, most recent character to come to Tekken 7. And has been really causing issues. If people don't know how to deal with the character, you know, she's really overbearing to deal with. You know, her 2-2-2-2-2 string can be really scary if you don't know what to do. A huge mix-up tool, great tour frame punish as well. And you know, it's also great, this Tekken merch we have available for you guys, officially licensed Tekken merch. You know, you can scan the QR code or visit tenno.gg/merch as well. You know,
and you
we've
see
got
the
King,
Law
we've got
shirt there
Law
as well. You know, Skywalker repping the Law, and of course, I can't get over it. The yellow one with the black text, the Bruce Lee shout out. I love that so much. Again, guys, tenno.gg/merch, or scan the QR code if you want to get your hands on either of these shirts or any of the other good ass Tekken shirts in stock for your favorite characters. Very, very cool stuff to have. Love it. And make sure you follow all the socials for BNE Esports over on Twitter and YouTube, and the official Tekken Twitters, Twitch, and Facebook pages to keep up with all your Tekken Online Challenge news and any other news relating to the game we love so much.
Yeah, I mean, huge shout to Bandai Namco Entertainment for everything that they do for us for Tekken. You know, it's great to have such support for this game so late into its lifespan. So when we have this here, the Tekken Online Challenge, a truly global online challenge here, because we're here down in West Africa, a region that doesn't normally get the shine. So I hope these players use this opportunity to put on a show for the people.
And I think, you know, certain players have already done a really good job of that, of you know, trying to elevate themselves to that platform. And I think a lot of people, you know, have been talking about this, about, you know, seeing more regions represented in the future once we have some sort of return to offline majors, to offline tours. And I think, you know, somewhere like West Africa with regions like Togo, like Ivory Coast, will certainly be on everyone's radar now when you have players like a Skywalker, like a Shaoling, you know, playing over there, and, you know, potentially people making a bigger name for themselves. You know, someone like Kasekur, who I admittedly didn't know too much about, you know, has been performing very strong today in winners side, in winners finals no less. You know, so already guaranteed the minimum third place in this West Africa region major. So hey, let's see what we can get out of it. Again, make sure you keep in touch with all of these events going on throughout October, and then all the regional finals from December on through January as well.
And obviously remember as well, everyone, this here is the Tekken Online Challenge. We're in the West Africa, the Masters event. You know, like we mentioned it so many times, a truly global online challenge this year. And, you know, I've said so many times, I'm so pleasantly surprised by the level of time we'll get to seeing here today. You know, Ivory Coast have already come out and put on a show, and we've had a few Ivory Coast versus Togo battles already, and we have another one coming up for you guys very shortly. And, you know, Skywalker, like I said, the guy to watch out for is already here in the losers bracket. So someone you have to be scared of right now, because he's in that fight or flight mode, you know, when things get really scary. You know, one more loss means you're out of the tournament, so you have to start playing extra hard right now. I know certain players as well, you know, just that losers bracket makes them just absolute beasts. They become a lot more scary, a lot harder to deal with. You know, they start pulling out the really scummy strats as well, because, you know, they really want to stay alive. So, you know, I hope Skywalker is ready. I think his opponents were Warwick, so we saw early with that Kunimitsu, a character who, if you are not ready to deal with, can really run over you. We saw it yesterday in the Eastern European Tekken Online Challenge Masters event with Bumblebee. Some players did not know how to play against Kunimitsu. It was very clear to see, and, you know, lost because of it. So, you know, being brushed, like I said, you know, we have such a prolific lore player in Skywalker. I was going to say Skybreaker again. With Skywalker, someone you do have to definitely be scared of, and that's a character people are going to be scared of. He's going to be someone you're going to focus on learning how to deal with that character. But Kunimitsu might be a character that falls by the wayside, unfortunately. So because of that, we're going to be taking a short break, you guys, and when we get back, we'll be getting some more top 8 action for you guys very shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the TOC Masters event for West Africa. Just had a short break to sort out some technical issues that we were having, but we're back now. It is me and Kawis. I'm joined by Nibs. Nibs, how are you doing today? You enjoy what we've seen so far?
Yeah, I've very much been enjoying what we've been seeing so far. I think we've had a lot of sick matches, and I think we have some more to come. I think we had a little bit of progress in the meantime that we weren't expecting. So that Skywalker versus Warax match, Skywalker did win that game 2-0. So Skywalker will be going up against Gargos on the losers quarter side of the bracket, and then Akia versus Hayai Sentoki as well. And of course, we still have that Kasakur versus Shaoling match on the winners final side. So a lot to play for still. Remember that Kasakur and Shaoling both guaranteed a minimum third, and you want to be as high as possible because this is a Masters event. You have a lot of points to play for in terms of qualifying for the regional finals that will be happening throughout November, December, and January for the different regions. All of the online challenge qualifier events will be happening up to the end of October, so make sure to keep in touch with that. But we have seen some sick games so far. Skywalker, of course, we were expecting him to come in strong in the early part of losers side, and he has been so far. Again, guys, just a shout out to our sponsor Astro, the official headset and mix amp of the Tekken Online Challenge, for keeping us listening in style with great quality. And again, that mix amp really does make a world of difference as someone who's been using it. You have so many different audio profiles, adjustable levels on voice and game audio is actually very, very useful, especially if you're playing a very audio intensive game. But thank you very much for supporting Tekken and Bandai Namco Entertainment, as always, for working with Tenno Media and bringing us these events. So, Kawis, what are you expecting from Gargos versus Skywalker? Of course, we were expecting that Warax match, but Gargos now, just lost out to Kasakur earlier, so we're expecting Law versus Hwoarang. So, yet another time I get to ask you, what do you think of a Hwoarang matchup?
Hwoarang versus Law is an interesting one. I think on paper, it's pretty much in Law's favor. Before you dive in, Law has a magic 4, good at interrupting Hwoarang's pressure, down 2-3, very good at interrupting Hwoarang's pressure, great poking, and when Law is unsafe on certain things like down back 3, Hwoarang doesn't get the best punishes. But I think the more you delve into the matchup, I think I think it gets more even the more you look into it. And something we didn't actually mention was Hayai Sentoki actually got the win over Akia, moving into the loser semi-final. We didn't get that game for you guys, unfortunately. But we see more Hayai Sentoki later on, his huge audition today, as mentioned earlier. But
yeah, no, we saw that the audition, as you put it, that Armor King match, winning 2-0 over TJ Carter. Very, very impressive stuff. And Hayai, keeping it rolling, beating Akia. So Akia is someone who we've seen a lot today and has been performing very well. Played solidly against Shaoling despite the loss, but is out now, and Sentoki now bringing that Armor King into the losers semi-final. So Armor King getting a lot of love here today, and I think a lot of people will be very happy about that. We talked about Armor King being another example of a character who hasn't really shunned the most on that competitive stage, but doing a lot of work here is Hayai Sentoki, and I think that's something I've noticed a lot with this West African region, of course, is that you get a lot of players specializing in more unique characters. You don't see nearly as many of your Leroys, your Fax, your Marduks as you would say maybe with like NA or some of Europe. So it is always fun to see all these character specialists.
Yeah, it's great as well. We get to see so much diversity in character choices, and also I guess diversity in region. We kind of talked on, this is going to be Ivory Coast versus Togo for the most part, and we're expecting Ivory Coast to take it in the end. But we have Benin in the winners final with Kasakur. Not something we didn't really expect, but this is the guy who said he has one objective leading into the stage: just win all of my games, and that is what he has done so far, and hopefully he continues to do so. So I'm very excited to see more of that Eliza in play as well. But I think, like we mentioned earlier, that Skywalker match is going to be so important. Law versus Hwoarang, interesting matchup. A match I've played myself quite a few times. Obviously, so it's such strong Law plays in Europe, and Rama goes same. But yeah, I think it's an interesting matchup. I think one thing that Hwoarang has over Law in the matchup was quite interesting is when Law goes launch punishable with stuff like his Dragon Cannon forward 4-3 while sending 2. Hwoarang is one of the few characters in the game that will always get a launch punish on stuff like that with his back 3. The ranger that makes it, he gets consistent launch punishment on moves like that, which is something not other characters can boast as well. So it makes Law play a different way. His full crouch mix up with the slider whilst in 2 whilst in 1-2 becomes a lot more unsafe against a character like Hwoarang. getting a launch on pretty much every option that is correctly guessed. So not something every character can do. So it makes the matchup between the characters quite interesting, and I'd like to see Skywalker, you know, play around that very well. Keep that in mind. You can't play in a certain way, and obviously we saw Gargos earlier, that very twitchy play style. You know, the moment he loses momentum, it's not his turn anymore. That back one,
yeah.
really just getting in his way. So. But the thing is, what's scary about that is back one's minus 14 on block, and on whiff pretty punishable. Law has that 14 frame punisher, so if Gargos isn't careful and he starts playing a bit too fidgety, I don't know the word for it. Like it's very back one heavy. You know, he's not going to be ready for it. So hopefully Skywalker's ready to deal with that, because Warrior's a character, if you're not ready to deal with, he can definitely run over you. Very strong character in this game. I think not talked about enough. You know, I like the character. I think he's quite strong. People need to get more into this character. He's hard to get into.
100%, and I think you do see the odd, the odd person putting in more results, especially more recently. You know, yourself obviously being one of the biggest representatives of that KWIS. But you know, you mentioned whether or not Skywalker will be ready for that, and you would imagine he is. Skywalker, again, being one of the strongest players from the entire region, and you know, kind of being known on that international stage, and I think will definitely have been watching these other matches, will have picked up on that habit of Gargos, and presumably has played against him plenty already anyway. So you would imagine, you know, he's definitely ready to use that 14 frame launcher. And, you know, Gargos perhaps has to be aware of that as well. It should be interesting to see whether or not he can stop himself from committing to that back one so often, because you can definitely see that coming through as a bad habit as a player. Talking about Kasakur versus Xiaoling, I think, you know, again, that presents some interesting matchup potential. Kasakur, of course, you know, playing the Eliza, Xiaoling representing either Ling or Master Raven, and I think both characters, you know, traditionally give a lot of people trouble. But as does Eliza. I think, you know, someone like Master Raven perhaps has some tools that could shut down certain Eliza options. That backturn power crush is very useful. But again, Eliza having access to a Dragon Punch, to an invincible you know, move, really kind of answers a lot of things that characters traditionally take for granted in their neutral situations. How do you deal with something like a DP from Eliza, from Akuma, and how do you play around that and adjust your game style?
I think once you just play against characters who have the experience, it becomes a lot easier. It's a pretty simple option, to be honest. I mean, for example, we'll give you one example. When a character does raise drive, they normally plus on block, and they'll want to be doing like a mid or like a jabs or something, just to stay safe, keep their frames. Eliza is something like her down back four, that sweep that will normally go under, and something you have to be worried about. But then there's also the DPs, the XDPs. Both of those options are beaten by blocking low. DPs are special mids, and obviously the lows are the scary options, so you can block both options low. If that is what you're looking for and what you're scared of, there's no problem with that. The same for Akuma. When you're in those situations, he'll love to do dig jabs, or he'll do his EXDP. You can block low, beat both of those options, nothing to worry about there, and get your punishes according to what move came out. So I think the Kasakur Xiaoling match will be very interesting. Xiaoling, obviously the player from Ivory Coast that puts Skywalker into losers bracket, not the player, the Ivorian we expected to be in the winners final, but you know, had such a strong showing earlier against Skywalker. It'd be lovely to see more of that gameplay later on. We've seen mainly the Ling here today. Hope we get to see more of that later on in the day here, Nibs. And obviously, like we mentioned earlier, this is the dates for the online master events and the regional finals. Like I have to say it one more time, it is a truly global online challenge this year. You know, we're touched down in Africa. We're going soon to the Middle East and South Asia, Southeast Asia, you know, Oceania as well. So nice to see the Australian and New Zealand players come out and show what they've got over there. And then obviously the regional finals starting in November and ending in January in North America. So if you guys don't want to miss any of that action, make sure you follow us on all the socials here, BNE Esports on Twitter and YouTube, and the Tekken Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, if you guys want to stay up to date and all of that.
All right. And I think, you know, just as a reminder again to anyone who is looking to compete or is competing in these regionals, to make sure you are signed up once more to that Tekken Esports tournament portal, just so that all of your results will be registered, your points will be on the system. You know, I think that has been an issue in the past. just, to avoid any trouble for yourself. But again, Masters events are worth a lot of points. These online Masters, very, very pivotal to qualifying for your regional matches. But there we go. Gargos versus Skywalker is coming up.
Yeah, that is the game. It's the loser bracket game. That is the important one. That is an elimination game. The loser will be going home, and that's when we talked about so much. The Law versus Warring matchup. Quite an interesting one. I think on paper, it is pretty even because, Warring can punish Law in ways that other characters can't. And Law has ways to interrupt Warring in ways that other characters can't. So I think it's a bit of a unique matchup. I think Law on paper the stronger character, but the Tekken isn't played on paper. It's played on whatever stage you have. I'm gonna say Mishima Dojo. We're getting Mishima Dojo first stage.
Is that your prediction?
I'm just saying it. Whatever happens, but it's gonna be Mishima Dojo.
I think personally I would like to see every player in every tournament from now on just play with your heartstrings specifically whenever Howard Estate is on the screen.
I mean, I've gotten used to it now. I mean, yesterday was an offline event in London, and Pika was actually there. And he actually played on Howard Estate. He let the full intro rock. Every single door, the jacket came off. So I'm done. I don't care anymore about Howard Estate. I've had my fill. It's time to pay attention to the players. And the first game is going to be on Diomo de Sirio, just like I said.
Yeah. Your pick. I like that. Switching your pick.
Switching. I said this from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. But there we go. Gargos on the Warring versus Skywalker on the Law. So again, this is going to be a real. It's a regional battle here. We again have the Ivory Coast versus Togo, and Skywalker very narrowly losing out to Shaoling to get into that winner's side. So has a lot to prove here. Has a lot more games to play to get to this losers final. Try to get into this top 3. And Skywalker, someone we're expecting to come out very aggressive here. So it'll be interesting now to see, like you touched on, Kawis, if Gargos is a bit more patient with those back ones or if he stays twitchy. Because if he stays twitchy, Skywalker will be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely back one on block full launch. I just want to see a bit more patience there running one. And there is immediately the
he tried it.
Back one in the down 2-3 straight away. I feel like this is a small precursor of how the rest of the set is going to go. I like how Skywalker ends his combos with Dragon Hammer. Just go for Oki instead. And oh my goodness, Skywalker already letting things rock. Nice punch parry there, but no, can't get the follow-up in time. Banana peel while sending 1-2, no duck. And yeah, the DSS finish as well. Great start there from Skywalker.
And like you said, I like that. He didn't even wait for another back one. He didn't block a back one. He just threw out the launcher straight away. He's like, oh, this is what you're going to do?
And Gargo's scared of getting a punch attempt, so just guarantee. And there's another back one as well. Skywalker needs to be more aware of this.
And this is interesting as well because, we say Skywalker will be able to adapt to it. But if Gargos can get away with it early, he's going to keep abusing it because, again, why wouldn't you?
There it is again. And he tried to back one after the jump cut again.
All right.
Okay, down for 3-4. Oh, finishes the second hit. That's actually launched punishable by Law, -14. So down 2-3 from out of nowhere. And we should be going to the wall. Nice combo. Dragon, no. The Dragon Fist this time. Nice parry, but can't get the follow-up in time. Nice whip punch with 4-4-2-3. 4-3 plus 4. And oh my goodness, Skywalker is just throwing everything out right now.
Yeah, we saw the Dragon Tail come out there. A slower low, but Skywalker still got away with it. 2 rounds to nothing right now in game 1. Tries for another slide. Back 3 there for Gargos to get a little bit of damage off the floor.
I think he wanted another down 2-3 there. Didn't work out. Skywalker playing super patient right now. Legend kick, nice step around. Could have had more in the back.
Yeah, didn't get the optimal back turn punish that. There we go. The Dragon Hammer counter hit launch. Will we get to wall? Yes, we will.
2-3, nice.
Dragon
Cannon. Back 4.
We tried to parry.
Nice duck. And then the 2 there. That is going to be it. Skywalker takes the first game in convincing fashion there. And if you guys don't know, when Law puts his leg up like that, it's actually a throw. So that's why Skywalker
correct myself. I said it was parry. I was wrong.
That is why Gargo stuck in there meant that nothing happened. That's actually it is a 1 break though. It's hard to tell because it's a full can confuse your muscle memory. But Law is like the only character in the game that has that just a leg. Like Kunimitsu has one where she puts her leg up, but it's also her left hand as well. So it's still a 1 break. But yeah, great start there by Skywalker. It's like he is prepared for the Huang. The back ones are still getting through though. I guess it's he's not ready for the unique style that Gargos is throwing out. But we just need to see more patience. From I mean, Skywalker took the first game, but I just those back ones they need to stop. They need to stop.
You need to see more patience from both players in the sense that Gargos needs to stop throwing them out so in such risky situations, but likewise, Skywalker is leaving a lot of free damage on the table by not anticipating them, not being ready to launch them, especially when you have access to a 14-frame tool as Law does to deal with that.
Exactly, that's really what you've got to get going. But yeah, it's just a very, very bad start there from Gargos. So if he can get something done, probably going to be a stage switch here. We saw earlier against Kaseko, he kept the infinite stage, so maybe that's what he's going to go for here against Law. But I think Huang at the walls is a really strong character, so this hopefully we keeps the walls in play.
All right, so here we go. What do we got coming up? Okay,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I did mention this earlier. Gargos is also a Ling player as well, and Ling also has has a similar back one in that I think her back one is actually 8 frames fast. And it's actually safer on block than Huang's back one, so that's probably going to be. I'm expecting we're going to see a lot of that interrupt the pressure.
Yeah, for
back
sure.
One again.
When this is, we've seen it's a playstyle that Gargos does like to utilize, having that kind of very evasive tool in his kit, and so just having a safer version of that, but having Ling's unique strengths as well. This could benefit Gargos a lot. We'll see how he plays here though. Gets clipped though.
It just turns out the 3+4 works out. Nice punish there on the spring kick. Things are looking good now for Skywalker. Messes up his slide. They're running through the plus frames.
Okay, nice.
So 1-inch punch just missing. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, flipping away. And again, Gargos, got very lucky there. It is possible to get hit on the way up by that move. Again, Skywalker getting a bit crazy now. He's feeling himself a bit.
1, 2, 3 into down forward 2.
Oh, he tried for the Dragon Hammer, got hit though. Rage Art.
Yeah, I don't know if that Rage Art's going to work. Should launch with a standing 4, but doesn't get the pickup at all. There's an easy pickup with down back 2. Is he going to get that running 3? And Skywalker steals the round.
Oh, and the stomp pop off there as well. Gargos has to feel bad about that one. Had the launch punish available, but didn't take it. Skywalker now has that first round on the board. Already 1-0 up. This is a potential set game for Skywalker if he can take it.
Oh, all right, regular throw. No break there from Gargos. Probably wasn't ready to push the button after a whiff there. I was just expecting to get whiff punished.
And when your back is to something like a balcony break as well, that throw from Law is quite devastating because it knocks you very far. Nice parry there from Gargos, gets the wall advantage.
Yeah, very nice. Oh gosh.
Gets caught on the way down by the flip. Skywalker is just having fun now.
And looks like the Ling switch hasn't worked out. Opens up with down to 3. Skywalker knows exactly what to do right now. I think went for flips kicks there, but just messed up. Go hop kick instead.
Nice slide. Double low into slide. Okay, he's feeling
Legend
it.
Kick.
Working on it, gets the throw, and he gets the perfect 7 golden letters, and Skywalker makes that a clean 2-0. Will eliminate Gargos.
Yeah, that was a nice showing there from Skywalker. Quick 6 rounds straight. Looked like the character switch just wasn't the answer there from Gargos. He's unfortunately out of the tournament, but a great showing so far. Ends up with 5th place. That's a nice showing. Going to get a nice bunch of points if they sign up to the Tekken Online Challenge Esports portal, which all the players competing should do, so you can actually collect your points here today. But yeah, great showing by Gargos. He's out today, but made winning side, top 8. Got very far here today. Should definitely be proud of that performance. But Skywalker, the player from Ivory Coast, very, very strong. We expected to do well here today. The sort of highlighted player going into this event. Moves into the losers semi-final.
Yeah, no, very, very impressive there from Skywalker. Will move into that losers semi-final, as you said, and take on Hayai Sentoki, the Armor King, a little later on. But first up, of course, we will finally get to that winners final match, to get our guaranteed, minimum second and minimum third placements between Kasakur and Xiaoling. So Kasakur, of course, repping the Eliza, Xiaoling, either Xiao Yu or Master Raven. And like you mentioned, Kasakur, the only representative from Benin here. So, a lot of this has been Ivory Coast versus Togo, but, Kasakur looking to, make that not the case, as you said, the one objective today to win all of their matches. So, interesting to see if they can do that. You saw the graphic there there. We will have that match coming up very shortly. So Eliza versus either of those characters, we've touched on it a few times already. A bit of a unique matchup in either case. Ling, a very evasive character. Master Raven, quite a lot of interesting options. Again, I think a character that people are still really figuring out. And just trying to optimize. A lot of people, as you've said, from regions where Master Raven is seen a bit more, think quite highly of the character, find the character very frustrating to play against, and I think with good reason. Eliza, in a similar vein, you don't see much of, but when Eliza is represented in a region, those players tend to do very well. You talk about Kira, you talk about Arslan Ash. People have put in some very impressive results with Eliza, and again, very unique tools. Eliza, the only character in the game who can jump back and whiff punish you, jump back, get a launcher even from a clean hit, never mind a punish. So very, very interesting matchup on the way from a character perspective. So who are you expecting to come out strong here?
It's going to be interesting. I think it's all really just going to come down to Xiaoling's knowledge of Eliza. She's a character you don't know how to deal with. She is going to run all over you. She, back to the wall, unseeable low wall splat. Is very scary to do, especially when meter is in play. So it'll be interesting to see Xiaoling's anti-Eliza knowledge here. But in the same vein, if Xiaoling goes for the Ling pick, knowing how to play against Ling is really important. She is very hard to deal with. She's got some of the best Oki in the game. If you don't know how to get up, you're going to get launched. You're going to have a terrible time. So I really want to see how Kaseko and Xiaoling play against each other here, and the anti-stratting between the two characters. Yes, the Ling pick as well.
All right, and the infinite stage, that wasn't random.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do... I thought we should do something about that. It was a picked infinite stage.
We'll have an update for you on that in a second. But regardless, something I'm just aware of now, you talk about Ling's evasiveness. You have options like AOP, things like Cali Roll. Eliza has an answer to, I think, a lot of these, tricky tools in the form of something like DP, like that invincible uppercut. However, Ling with certain stance transitions can kind of move into back turn and then kind of sidestep very quickly, and I think a tool, an option like that is something that Eliza or Akuma normally don't necessarily have to deal with. So I think someone who can transition from side to side fluidly between stances can represent a lot of problems for someone with a Dragon Punch. So it'll be interesting, like you said, to see Xiaoling's Eliza knowledge, but likewise Kasakur's Ling knowledge. And of course, the ever looming threat of that Master Raven, which we have still not seen today, but is constantly something that Xiaoling has available.
Yeah,
and it'll be interesting to see how the players go into game one, because I think that will really give us a sense of what we can expect for the rest of the set.
Yeah, I think we're getting a small delay in the game, because I think we're going to get into the randoms select first and foremost.
Yeah.
Picking stage is a no-no for the first game. You have to wait till you lose to do that. I think it's interesting as well. You see, I'm guessing Xiaoling had the stage pick and went straight for the infinite stage. Like how strong Eliza is with the walls in play.
Yeah.
In Europe we have Kira, who I think is the only one who actually picks the infinite stage, or doesn't mind the infinite stage himself.
Yeah.
Because as we mentioned earlier, Eliza's the only character who can use the space to jump back and whiff punish you. Something that that other characters don't have the option to do. With infinite stage, more space to do that. So we'll be doing the random select, which is the official, Tekken online challenge rules. We don't want any rule breakers here. It'll be interesting to see if there's any penalties for that. That cheeky little stage pick there. But it lets you know Xiaoling's mindset going into this. He doesn't want to play Eliza with the walls in play. Doesn't want to do that at all. Is worried about it. But yeah, I think it's because it's technically a new rule. The first year of Tekken World Tour, it always had to be a new stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched, there was always a random selected. So it made longer sets that much longer to always go back to the stage select, pick a random stage every single time. I think it was the 2018 Tekken World Tour where the stage pick rule was finally brought in. If you lose, you can pick the stage. But I remember I think it was in Poland where I think it was Chikrin versus Super Akuma. No, it wasn't in Poland. It was in the mix-up in France. It was Chikrin versus Super Akuma. And Chikrin played Geese at first. It didn't work out. And so then Chikrin switched to Jin and then also picked the infinite stage. Right, and then they had to tell them that you can only do one of those two things. So, okay. right? So people were still getting adjusted to that rule back then. Could you imagine the world in that where you could just pick both on a loss? Like, imagine you're like, damn, I just lost with I just lost my Ling. I'm gonna pick Geese and pick Howard Estate.
Yeah,
just change.
damn, I lost game 1. Time to play King on Forgotten Realm.
I'm the King Forgotten Realm. I'll never forget. But yeah,
oh, don't.
This is and that's one thing I like that I spoke about before. Bandai Namco's entertainment support of Tekken still continues to this day. Like, they obviously, with the pandemic, they had to give more support to online features. One of the great online features now, you can actually see the question mark when it is a random selected stage, so we don't get any of those shenanigans. It's really nice.
And I think, that was always one of those things. A lot of it was in good faith before, but it is nice to have that now to make it clear so that things like that don't happen. But either way, as we said, we'll be getting right back into that once we have the game back in and we get that random selected first stage. But we are getting the Eliza versus the Ling. We know that much. And it should be interesting to see. Thinking about it now, a lot of Eliza's. Think about Eliza's dive kick. How does something like Art of Phoenix stance from Ling really interact with a lot of Eliza's kit? Because again, it's not a matchup I would see very often. I honestly don't know if I've ever seen it, to be honest.
In this matchup, I mean, dive kick is still going to hit because dive kick is such a low hitbox. It's essentially a low. It's always going to hit AOP, so that's going to be good space control. Two good options for Eliza to use to lock down Ling. Especially tries to go for AOP, but like the back turn stance that Ling can go into, and she's like the only character in the game that can actually sidestep in back turn, can be pretty scary to deal with. It's very evasive. She goes back, you're not ready, and then it's just you're just out of here. So it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, the matchup knowledge between the two is really going to shape how this match goes. And obviously, everyone, please remember, this is the Tekken Online Challenge Masters event for West Africa. Like I said, it's a truly global online challenge this year. We get to see everyone really take part, and this is my first time ever seeing a player from Benin compete in Tekken with Kaseko with the Eliza, someone sponsored by Heartbreakers Esports. So excited to see what he does here today, representing his team, representing his whole region, really. So he's got a lot on his back right now, and he said going into today, I'm going to repeat it again, I have one objective today: win all of my matches. So far, he's competed that, so let's see if he continues to do that.
And
and his other objective is to buy a shirt, which is what you guys can also do here. We've got the 10.0 officially licensed Tekken merch at 10.0.gg/merch. I'll scan that QR code. You can get your hands some of this good arse merch. We say arse over here in Britain. I think you Irish people will still say ass, but it is arse. We speak the Queen's English over here.
The Queen's English. But there we have the King shirt as well. So if you're a fan of either character, again, you can go to 10.0.gg/merch or scan the QR code in the corner of your screen. Both shirts are back in stock. And of course, we have the other range of officially licensed Tenno Media Tekken shirts. Thank you very much to Bandai Namco Entertainment for getting involved and making that happen. And of course, for just all the support once more that they've shown the community and the game throughout this tough 1.5 2-year period. Again, there we see it on our screens. This is an online Masters event. We have those going throughout the end of October, and then from November all the way through to January we have the regional finals going on as well. So check your dates, mark them on your calendars, see your favorite players or maybe your local players competing for some of those sweet points. And of course, it'll be interesting then that we're ending this season's events in 2022. That's crazy. That's crazy to think. By the end of this, we're going to be in 2022. What a time to be alive. And I'm really excited to see kind of what the future of the game is kind of after these regional finals. From that point on.
Yeah, like I say, it's interesting to mention as well. We do end in 2022. I think the Tekken. I think when you go back to the Tekken World Tour is it's interesting because what we used to have is, I think 2019 was, because Tekken 7 is the first Tekken there have been post-game updates. So since the game comes out, we had Season 2, the Season 3, the Season 4, etc. I think it was very interesting that mid-Tekken World Tour seasons, there was very often a change in season of the game. So I had personal experience with this in my first challenger event in 2019 was Clash of Olympians in Greece, and that took place 2 weeks after season 3 had just rolled out. So it was literally playing a tournament on a new season that had literally just been released, and that was just a huge shock to the system. And I was thinking to myself, what if I just died to something I've actually never seen before? Like, what the hell do I do then? But either way, we are finally getting into the winners final match. Heartbreakers Esports Kase Kerr going up against Xiao Ling. Is going to be Eliza versus the Ling, and like we said, I really want to see how the matchup knowledge between the two extends throughout this entire set.
Yeah, for sure. And I think game 1 is going to be very telling for, the adaptations we're going to see. But we are on Violet Systems on this first random stage. Now we are finally getting this game underway. And I just have to say, I love these shots. We've been getting them all day, but I love these stage shots before the game. I think it's sick. But here we go, guys. Round start. Kase Kerr backing off immediately. Hits the Dark Wave there on the whiff punish. Nice backswing there.
Yeah, this is a great start here right now, Kase Kerr. Again, this is something that worked in that winners semifinal was the throws. They were not broken earlier by Gargo. So Xiaoling, that's a sign as well. If you're not breaking those throws, nice power crush, nice patience there by Xiaoling, but wasn't confident in the punish.
Yeah, and now sitting on this big life lead until he goes in there for that Moonglide 4. Kase Kerr, interestingly, backed off, kept Xiaoling just outside of Rage, but now going back in, perhaps thinking better of it.
Oh,
and
wait.
again! Xiaoling gets caught.
That's the second time this has happened today. People aren't ready for the second hit of EXDP. They don't know it's coming. Again, that Snake Edge, Kase Kerr. No, drops the combo, though, again.
Yeah, round start Snake Edge. And again, Eliza, unusually for people with a Snake Edge, leaves the ground. She jumps into the air for a low.
And back 1-4. Finishes a string that wasn't certain they'd actually just get the launch on it.
Nice power crush through that Cali roll. Very nice there from Kase Kerr. We mentioned Ling's stand stuff, her Cali roll. Kase Kerr was ready.
Okay, this is a great start here for Xiaoling. And the EXDP. Great timing that time.
Okay, nice rage.
Very nice option there from Xiaoling, and he will finally get on the bubble all tied up 1-1.
Yeah, 1 round apiece on game 1 here. So both players back and forth here, showing a little bit of knowledge. Kase Kerr definitely ready for some of these Ling options. And I think when you have a tool like the DP, like the dive kick, that's very important. All right, contests there, expected another roll.
And this is nice whip punish there from Xiaoling, but can't get the follow-up with down by 2. This is interesting because Eliza gets a very good punish on Cali roll. Cali roll being -11, Eliza can just jab DP or jab into stuff. So interesting that he's not electing to go for that punish. But nice use of the meter there. Back to the wall. The raw unblockable there. Xiaoling's not ready. Nice punish on the spring kick.
All right, Kase Kerr going for some interesting options so far. Xiaoling has rage available. Nice sidestep. Gets the myth thrust, but, Kase Kerr was in the air, got floated.
Okay, there's the EX
dive kick.
Nice patience by Xiaoling. The backswing doesn't work out, but down for one.
Forward 1.
Kase Kerr 1 round away from taking the first game here.
All right, Kase Kerr, if he can get this first game on the board, he's on the way to doing what he set out to do. And, coming out of this tournament, potentially winning all of his matches, but do not count out Xiaoling. Again, very impressive performance against Skywalker earlier today. Ooh, weird trade.
I have never seen that interaction before.
I've never. Nice there, that jump back dive kick with the whiff punish on the low. Very nice stuff there from Kase Kerr. Running tackle, good reversal from Xiaoling, though. Gets the slaps. Down back 2. Oh, beautiful. Nice. Gets the wall bounce. We'll get a full combo here. Do we get Oki? Ooh, nice.
Ooh, not going to be dead. The death palm. One more hit. Down back 2, and Xiaoling will go into a final round first game.
And Xiaoling really clutching it out there. Showed a lot of knowledge, a lot of patience there right at the end of that round. Very important stuff. All right, now Kase Kerr backing off a little bit. Throwing out strings. And nice the Moonglide.
To get an easy Moonglide 4. Basically stuck in blocks. Nice patience, but no punish there from Xiaoling. Kase Kerr getting the pressure going right now. Xiaoling almost backed into the corner, but gets out. Back 1-2. Finishes the string again. Could have had a launch, but just isn't confident. EX dive kick. This could be the round unless the wall has something to say about it. And there it is.
Gets it anyway.
Very nice start here by Kase Kerr. Takes the first game here and keeping that momentum from the winning semi-final.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Kase Kerr looking very comfortable there, kind of backing off a good deal, not really overcommitting a lot of the time. And I think that worked out, kind of changed the flow of that match quite often. I think that kind of threw Xiaoling off a good deal. Like you said, that wall splat at the end there could have killed potentially, but because Ling hit the wall on her front, you only get one hit on someone's back on the wall. So just had a last chance, but didn't quite get it. So game 2 now should be interesting. See if we get any adaptation or a stage pick coming out from Xiaoling. This is, of course, a best of 5 as a reminder, as this is our winners finals match. So this is very important. Do you get guaranteed third, at least third, or guaranteed at least second? The difference between being in grands and losers finals right now.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a great start for Kaseko. I think, we saw it earlier. We saw it earlier that Xiaoling wanted the infinite stage. From forgetting, there's so many S's. I was gonna say Skywalker or Starbreaker again. He wanted the infinite stage before. You saw it there when it went to Kaseko. Had Xiaoling's back to the wall. He was scared. He didn't know what to do. He was holding back, even with his back to the wall. So he was scared. So he's going to want to play with that infinite stage, but Eliza's not too bad in the infinite stage, but I feel like Kaseko's playstyle isn't based around that. He's really liking to force the issue, get in his face, stay on the front foot. So, the infinite stage might actually end up working out for Xiaoling here. Yeah, there it is, Arctic Snowfall.
Okay, so yeah, the infinite pick, does make a lot of sense here. I think Kaseko hasn't really shown too much need a lot of the time for the wall, but I think this will definitely benefit Xiaoling. Just wants that little bit of extra freedom.
Speaking of freedom, look at this. Beautiful. Free camera.
Gorgeous. Like I said, I love these shots. I think it's just a really nice little touch.
I like that guy in the back of it. You see him?
He's just waving?
Yeah, I like him. Hello.
Is that your best friend?
I think so.
All right, here we go. And Xiaoling opening the round, I believe the same way he did in game 1. Power crush there from Kaseko.
The shooting star now. It looks like Xiaoling has a plan and it all revolves around shooting star. And he tried it again, but gets power crush for his troubles.
All right, the palm. Dark Wave coming out from Kaseko. And again, Dark Wave, an interesting projectile, moves along the ground, not too similarly to Rapuken.
Oh my goodness.
Not too dissimilarly, rather.
You know what? Kaseko snakehead Xiaoling last round, so this is just payback very clearly. Do it again.
Do it again.
String, you're never ready for that. And nice
block on the Moonglide 4.
No launch, so that is minus 23 on block, but gonna block and punish that standing 3 just to be safe.
Yeah. Nice there from Xiaoling getting on the board. And Xiaoling playing a much more reserved style that round. Opens with the shooting star again. Interestingly, no whiff punish there.
Cali roll,
tried for the second. Yeah, tried for the second Cali roll. Got clipped out of it last time as well. Kaseko is ready for that. Xiaoling needs to remember that, potentially has an opportunity to get something off of a first block Cali roll. Nice tackle, though.
Yeah, Kaseko getting up the right way that time and runs up and just does the snake edge. Again, no one is ready for that.
All right, 1 bar of blood gauge. Burns it, goes into the unblockable. Very, very nice.
I'm pretty sure Xiaoling stepped back. That was just unfair.
I don't know. I saw Xiaoling's health go down. Goes to sleep. Does Kaseko avoids the pressure, but gets snake edge anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, missed the mistrust there. Kaseko choosing to stay on the ground. I think that was the right decision. Blocks the wake up below. Rage drive available. Goes for it, gets blocked. Nice EXTP. Xiaoling feeling the time pressure there after the blocked rage drive. Wanted to keep the pressure going, but Kaseko called it out. Has no blood gauge right now. This is the time that Xiaoling needs to be going in, but gets clipped by that counter hit launcher. And okay, Kaseko dropped, but still hit the end of the string. And the snake edge again. Oh my god.
Snake edge just a follow up there. Might even do it again. I thought that was it. Shooting star again.
Nice power crush block.
And no punish on the power crush though.
One barometer available. Rage drive available to Xiaoling. Whiffs with the running 3. And Kaseko now just going to sleep.
Yeah, Kaseko clearly very confident. It looks like Xiaoling doesn't know that string. The last hit is a low. Got hit by it every single time.
All right. Xiaoling not having a great time right now. Opening round power crush does work out this time for Kaseko. Seems very fond of throwing that out from about mid range. All right, launched the string, very nice.
Doesn't finish the last hit. Knows to go for the combo this time. Great adjustments here from Kaseko.
All right.
We're
Oh,
unblockable,
nice.
but
Stuffs
nice.
him out of the unblockable. Okay, Xiaoling finally having an answer for that. Didn't get clipped that time. Mistrust gets the launch.
All right, the forward 2 combo here. What does Xiaoling do at this situation? Snake Edge for Oki. Do it again. He's going to Snake Edge first. Back 1-2, but finishes the string again. Every back 1-2 has been a counter here for Kaseko. Has great timing on it, but finishes the string because he's just not confident he's going to get the launch.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting to see. Nice block on the EX dive kick there from Xiaoling. Why did that last hit miss? Who knows? Tried to go for the rage drive, I believe, but got hit out on the trade. Very fortunate for Kaseko, but still loses the round. 2 rounds apiece right now, and Xiaoling needs this to stay alive here. You know, this is a best of 5, but you don't want to go 2 games down.
And that's the thing. Kaseko getting a bit desperate, so the Snake Edge comes out again. It's how he starts most of the rounds when he needs some big damage. Looking good right now. Has the life lead, gets the float. Can't get the combo though.
Yeah, no, again, 1 bar available.
Xiaoling does not know the last hit string, but the meter is wasted. Nice use of the shooting star to beat the EX dive kick.
And yeah, we saw a lot of that dive kick being used in game 1. Maybe that's why all the shooting star from Xiaoling stuffed the dive kick out of the air.
And
Rage drive will be blocked.
That was a smart rage out. Nice block and punish there from Xiaoling. And we're on the board all tied up 1-1 right now.
Yeah, very, very nice there. Xiaoling changing up the style quite a lot there, and it definitely worked out. That shooting star, I think finally we saw the reason for that, stuffing that EX dive kick in the air. So very, very solid stuff there from Xiaoling. 1 game apiece right now. So, you know, another 2 wins needed for either player. Very, very important stuff. So we could potentially go to a game 5 depending on how this next game or 2 go.
Yeah, and it's interesting as well to see, you know, such an even game right now. I think the rounds that, you know, Kaseko is winning really just starts off with when he gets the pressure going, like a huge snake edge or something, for example. Those are the rounds he normally wins, but he did it in that final round there, but just let his foot off the gas. You know, he let Xiaoling get back into the game. And you see what happens when he gets his pressure going. It just plays around everything super well. So a great start here for both players. And yeah, we're probably going to bring the Wolves back in play. That's probably what Kaseko wants. So let's see how this next game goes.
Yeah, I think there was, you know, Kaseko was quite happy to back off pretty often there, but I do think, you know, giving Xiaoling that extra bit of room to move, that comfort to just always, you know, be able to find space and figure out what they wanted to do. I think, you know, Kaseko will probably want to consider bringing in those walls because, again, that's where Eliza's damage really shines through. You know, as you said, you know, certain Eliza players do actually favor the infinite. They don't mind the loss of damage, but I think, you know, Eliza's Oki potential, Eliza's extra damage really do shine. So I would argue that is the right call. Will we see it? No, we stay on the infinite.
Definitely interesting to see that Kaseko has himself picked the infinite stage when he did so well with the walls in play. But you know, you mentioned it, certain Eliza players do prefer the infinite stage, even though it didn't work as well. Sometimes it's a mental thing, just playing on the stage you're most comfortable on. Maybe he just prefers infinite Azure to Arctic Snowfall. Maybe it's just like an aesthetic thing.
I think, you know, sometimes it genuinely can be that for certain players. I think, you know, and that is important as well. Any level of comfort you can add to your gameplay is definitely something to consider. Nice snake edge there from Kaseko. Okay, Dark Wave. Just throwing him out in mid-range. I think that is a solid option. Gets floated out of the air, though, from that Cali roll. All right, the Power Crush.
Again. Guaranteed Moonglide 4 to follow up. Kaseko with a nice start right now. Xiaoling just shy of rage, but working on the comeback. Big whiff, but no punish at all from Kaseko.
Nice, okay.
The first time that wasn't counting hit, finishes the string with good measure, but no punish back from Xiaoling.
Yeah, and I respect that as well. Finishing the string on the occasion that it wasn't a counter hit, just to try and catch Xiaoling on the end. That Rage Art whiffs, though, and the big snake edge on the wake-up. Kaseko really threw caution to the wind there, but it worked. Gets on the board early. Shooting star again. So we see that nice EXDP eats the snake edge.
That's a down 3 slash. Good right now. Again, that shooting star. Xiaoling clears a plan with it. Nice, goes for the easy slash after the raw unblockable there from Kaseko.
No
nice
stuff that time from Xiaoling. Xiaoling has rage available now, but has a lot of work to do here with no walls. Ooh,
no
the miss was
punish at all in
blocked,
the
but no
mid rush. Patient had a guaranteed hit there, but didn't go for it. And Kaseko 2 rounds up here in this third game.
Yeah, no, and you saw there, Kaseko did not finish the string that time after catching Xiaoling with it every other time. You know, didn't make as much of that as they could have, but nice launch there. Gets the low, does Xiaoling. Gets a little bit of damage. EXDP again on the way in. Kassekor very comfortable throwing that out. Nice. Okay, fakes him out that time.
But no, doesn't get the combo at all that time.
Okay, interesting. Threw out EX dive kick from quite far away. Maybe expected Xiaoling to commit to an advancing option. Gets the throw, though. Moonglide 4 whiffs. Not a big punish. Goes for the flip. Again, Kassekor not aware. You have to roll forward to avoid that. Okay, just goes for ultimate tackle. Slaps.
All the slaps connect. Good start here for Kassekor. Xiaoling and Ray down by 2.
back
Rage
2.
available. Nice block. Patience from both players there. I don't know if Eliza gets a guaranteed punish on Ling's Rage Drive. Spends the meter. Nothing left. This could be the round. What?
Whiffs into, was that a back turn snake edge?
Wait, I need to see that. Wasn't Eliza back turned? Or did Eliza like turn around immediately and then do the sweep? I have no idea how that happened, but I feel like the sweep shouldn't have been able to come out there. I'm
not too sure. I can't begin to tell you, but Kassekor takes that game very convincingly. A lot closer last game. That game was all Kassekor. So Kassekor up 2-1 right now, potentially looking at advancing into grand finals on the winner's side if they can take this next game. And I think Kassekor, you know, making good so far on that claim, on that promise, that goal of winning all of their matches. So you know, Xiaoling has a lot of work to do, a lot to think about right now. I think, you know, I would expect us to stay on the Infinite if we're staying Ling, but again, that Master Raven is still in the pocket. It's still an option, but, you know, presumably there's a reason it wasn't picked already.
Yeah, that's definitely something I think about here, like a character switch. Something needs to change. You know, Kassekor is all over Xiaoling right now. Someone we've seen play so well beforehand, you know, is looking very unlike himself right now in this set. So I do want to see Xiaoling sort of turn things up and sort of get his own offense started, because that's been the name of the game. When Kassekor gets going first, it's essentially his round. You know, there's nothing you can do to stop him. Keeps momentum going. You know, those snake edges, everything is hitting. Even the raw unblockables, it looks like, you know, Xiaoling just doesn't have an answer. So, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, Xiaoling has an answer to this, because if not, you know, this could be it. Could be over final game here, and I do want to see some more Tekken, so hopefully Xiaoling can keep this going.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, you know, there is definitely room to adapt. There is room to change here. We saw it in that game too, which Xiaoling won. Changed up the playstyle a lot, was using a lot more shooting star. We didn't see it nearly as much that game.
Okay, so we just have a ruling there. It's actually currently 1-1 because Kassekor was using a custom. So that last game, we do not count it, but it looks like Xiaoling has finally gone for the Master Raven pick here.
But the stage has also been picked.
Did you have to point that out?
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like because the stage was also picked, we're gonna have to get
roll
back.
That back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to roll back. We had a stage pick and a character switch. I mentioned this earlier. This is what happened to Chikarin back in France. He picked Jin and also picked the Infinite stage. You can't do that. You have to do one or the other. So we will be getting that reset again for you guys. Hopefully we get that done very soon. But yeah, it looks like Xiaoling has clearly had enough. The link isn't working out. It's time to switch. He's gone to the Master Raven. So, you know, what do you think about that, Nims? Why do you think he's gone for that pick?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. Something I was thinking of there a moment ago was, you know, you had Shooting Star to answer something like the dive kick. And surely, if timed correctly, or, you know, if you're lucky enough, something like Master Raven forward 3 could potentially serve a similar purpose. Only difference there is if you stuff a dive kick with forward 3, you're getting a float, you're getting a combo. Now, I don't know if that can happen. I don't know how well those moves interact, but, you know, that's something to consider. Again, Master Raven does have you know, tools available to her that can be quite intimidating to a lot of people. You know, that back turn power crush, while, you know, very punishable, is a great tool for shutting people down. Master Raven has some very unique parries available to her, parries that, you know, teleport her, you know, a lot of interesting stuff. So again, I think you really bring in a huge element of character familiarity, and, you know, just how well someone is going to be able to adapt to different options. And I'm not sure, how much these players play, regularly. I'm not sure how much Kasekura will know about Master Raven. But likewise, we've seen that Xiaoling perhaps not as ready for Eliza as we would have expected so far. I think, we've only seen that Power Crush. Sorry, not the Power Crush. We've only seen the Unblockable get stuffed once out of the air. That has had a very high hit rate for Kasekura. So I think there's still a lot of back and forth going on here. I don't know. What do you think? Does Master Raven seem like the ideal decision here for you?
I think either characters are pretty viable, but I think character selection doesn't really matter when you're playing against someone like Kasuka with that aggression that he's always throwing out, those snake edges. Like, I don't care what character you're playing, everyone can eat a snake edge. So that's kind of the mentality we're seeing here from Kasuka, just keeping his aggression going, staying on the front foot, making sure that Xiaoling just has to just keep guessing and be patient. And like, I'm sure Xiaoling at this point is definitely getting frustrated. All those snake edges hitting, all those unblockable, raw unblockables hitting, not even doing it out of Moonglide. There's no mix up to it. It's just something that can definitely get into your head. So I do hope Xiaoling can adapt to this. It is now tied up 1-1 instead of the 2-1 because of the custom outfit. There are rule sets available on the Smash GG. So if for anyone that's confused, make sure you guys are always reading that. There's a reason they're so widely available, so we don't get put into situations like this. So make sure you guys are reading the rules. No stage picks, first game. Should we, what, just for everyone right here, I'm gonna lay down
he's gonna break it down.
There's no confusion. So first game is 0-0, all tied up. You can't select the stage because then it's unfair, because we saw earlier Xiaoling did it against Eliza picking the infinite stage. That's unfair for the first game. Has to be a random select. Then at that point, once you lose that first game, you then can elect to pick a stage. Should you decide to do though, you can pick the same stage you want. You can random select if that is what you feel like. Also, you have to pick one of the default or preset outfits that are in the game. If you made that outfit going into the game, you cannot use it in tournament play. Just pretend it's like an offline event. You're not allowed to do that. There could be some crazy things going on. Also, certain presets not allowed to use. Jack and Gigas, I think the only characters affected by that, because they can be a bit hard. Yeah. A bit hard to see. Visual clarity can really be messed up there. And then if you do lose the first game, you can, like I said, you can choose to pick the stage. What you can also do is pick a different character if you feel like that character wasn't working. But what you can't do in that situation once you've changed that character is then pick a different stage as well, because you can give yourself an overwhelming advantage by doing so. You only get one or the other, and then in the normal set, once 2 games are lost by someone, you then move on into the next game. But in this game, it is a winners final. It's a first 3 best of 5 set. There's a few more games to play with, but that also means a few more time for the rules to be broken. So make sure you listen to everything I just said and do that in the following games moving forward for the rest of this top 8. Thank you.
Thank you for the
or I will shoot you in the face.
Thank you for the lesson, Professor Kwis, on the official Bandai Namco Entertainment rules for Tekken competition. But we will have that game back shortly, guys. It will be Master Raven versus the Eliza, I believe. But it is going to be interesting to see how that plays into it. We are back to 1-1. Hopefully we can avoid... he's just trying really hard not to laugh. Why are you smiling so much? Is he frozen?
I'm happy.
Okay. I thought you were frozen there for a second.
Smile. Imagine I was stuck like that. You guys imagine for the rest of the tournament, I'm just stuck like this. There's nothing I can do. Everyone's scared. Like I'm blocked. But now I'm back. Anyway. Yeah. Well, what are we doing again? There's a tournament or something, right? Winners final, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, winners final. But thank you very much for breaking down the rules. And thanks again to Bandai Namco Entertainment again for getting involved in getting an event like this set up and putting us through for the rest of these few months. And of course, follow the socials, BNE Esports over on Twitter and YouTube, and Tekken Official on Twitter, Twitch and Facebook to keep up with the Tekken Online Challenge, and of course the regional finals from November onwards through to next year. Again, that's still crazy to think of.
Yeah, it ends in 2022. I didn't even realize 2019 had passed, and here we are, 2021 going to end in 2022. That's kind of crazy. And obviously here we have, like we're seeing there, the master events. Right now we're here. It is the see, this is the American style of using the dates. Always confused in my brain, but we're here with the West Africa event going on until October, when that is over in Japan. Then the regional finals will begin the next week, starting with South Africa and then ending next year with North America. So it begins with North America with the master events and ends in North America with the regional finals events.
Very, very exciting stuff coming up through the coming months. And again, we have Astro to thank as well for supporting the event, as well as Bandai Namco Entertainment. Astro, the official headset and mix amp of the Tekken Online Challenge. Definitely headphones I would recommend for just general use, to be honest, but definitely very gaming focused. So if you are competitive, you do take your sound very seriously, I would recommend them wholeheartedly.
Yeah, we're always Astroed out for these events. Can't thank Astro enough for everything they do for the Tekken Online Challenge and all Tekken events that we have moving forward. But yeah, so we are gonna get into our the winners final very shortly, and it's going to be still the same game. It's going to be Kaseko going up against Shaoling, and we know that Shaoling has switched to the Master Raven, showing that he has had enough of the Ling. It's not working out. He's going to want to play a bit differently now, and I think Kaseko is not really going to mind a character switch. I didn't really see any like anti-Ling stuff going on. He wasn't playing in depth of the matchup. He was just still playing the usual we saw him play earlier against Gargos. That Snake Edge is coming out, the Raw Unblockables are coming out, the throws are coming out, and he is just ready to deal with everything. And so not really, sorry, his opponent isn't ready to deal with anything, because I feel like it's a bit of a shock to the system playing against such a strong, a play style with the Eliza. You don't know what's coming. You're getting hit by everything, and it can be a real pain to deal with and really start to affect the mental game, can't it, Nibs?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, the more you get hit by things like Raw Unblockable or Run Up Snake Edge, that will break you down over time. You mentioned it earlier on with failing to break throws. I think, it's a similar mentality. The more that hits you, the more likely you are to get hit by it. And it's very strange how that works. So I think, anti-tilt and adaptation are definitely skills that, you will see people, struggle with, even at a high level. But interesting, once we have that match wrapped up as well, we do still have that losers semi on the other side of the bracket. Skywalker over there, who did get knocked down to losers earlier on by Shaoling, who we have in our winners final. So Skywalker has been on a tear through that losers side, playing against Hayai Sentoki, representing Armor King. So again, that should be a really fun match to watch once we get around to that. Again, I think just being characters you see less, Armor King versus Law would not be a matchup I'd be too familiar with. Again, it should be interesting to see, how Sentoki approaches that. It has been very consistent so far. Clean whiff punishes a lot, but Skywalker hasn't really been making many mistakes throughout the day. Doesn't whip very often, and really likes to put down a lot of pressure, which I think is something that a character like Armor King might actually struggle with. Armor King not known for having the best panic options.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely going to be an interesting matchup between the two. The two characters and the two players as well. I really like Hayo Sentoki's playstyle with the Armor King. It's going to be like a nice clash of styles between him and Skywalker, the guy people are really paying attention to, going into this game. So I do want to see more Skywalker action. Obviously, it's interesting as well because, right now, Kaseka, even though it's tied up 1-1, Kaseka is the guy that's on the front foot right now in this set. He's the one who's looking really good, looking really strong, and he's probably the favorite to move into the grand finals winner side at this point. And then with that being the case, Shaolin will move down to losers final, and then if Skywalker wins this game, we get that run back. Skywalker gets to get his revenge on the person who put him down into that losers brackets. Hopefully we do get to see that run back again, but I don't want to count Hayai Sentoki just yet. And I think Shaolin, maybe the Raven, he probably could bring back this game and take it over Kaseka, depending on how he plays the match. But I just want to see, I want to see Shaolin play a bit more aggressive now, get his aggression going, get his game plan going, because whoever gets started first is the one who's really the one who's most likely to win the game. So let's see how this goes.
Absolutely. I think the Tekken 7 in particular, a very momentum heavy game, and I think the later on you get into a bracket like this, even especially in a best of 5, there is a lot of mental involved in maintaining that momentum. And I think if you can have a strong opening round, you can take a clean game, 3 rounds to nothing, that really sets the pace and puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to not panic and to be able to answer you actively throughout that game. So it should be interesting, you know, when we do come back to it, you know, to see how well Xiaoling adapts now with that Raven pick. I think, again, Raven, a character who, yeah, we had this discussion earlier, not represented, you know, as heavily in certain regions, you know, not seen really in the US, you know, seen a decent bit in the EU. I have not seen Xiaoling play Raven personally, so I can't begin to speculate on the style. Like you said, I think, you know, a bit more aggression would perhaps be necessary. I think, you know, the Ling playstyle has been very evasive, very passive, not really taking advantage of certain tools as much as they would like. I do think there was an attempt made at times, but a lot of that was answered by Kasekur, you know, throwing out that EXDP when meter was available. So, you know, I think maybe the Raven pick is motivated perhaps by that inability to feel like the offense could get going with the Ling.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, Raven, I feel like a character you can really force the issue with a bit more. You know, she's a bit scary. The moment she starts doing that snake dash in your face, you know, you're immediately thinking, you know, is she going to do the spinneroonie, or is she going to go for the Wasen 2 or Wasen 1 and get some aggression going? So it is very scary to deal with. You know, she has some very big blows to down back 3, down back 4, which can really hurt. So hopefully we get to see that in this set as well. You know, it's interesting, but something like down back 4 is a bit of a risk because it is -14, and Eliza can launch punish that with her Wasen 1 light DP. So that is something to think of. It is blocked and punished. So, you know, I do hope that you know, Xiaoling goes into the match with a game plan, because, you know, we've seen Kasekur just be so aggressive, so scary to deal with, starting off with those snake edge. If you're not ready to deal with them, you're just going to get blown up and look like a fool. So hopefully, you know, we don't get to see that. We get a nice competitive winners final here to set up the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, and I thought there as well, you know, a lot of that commitment to doing something like run up unblockable on the part of Kasekur, you know, being an airborne move, and perhaps similar to Snake Edge as well. Master Raven standing 4, or, you know, even that 4-1 string, perhaps a tool that could answer that very well. I think, you know, can float people pretty consistently out of the air with that. So, you know, that is something that Xiaoling might be aware of, might be trying to go for here. But again, it is all up in the air.
All right, we're just being told now we're actually going to go into the losers semi-finals right now. I don't know, maybe those two, we won't speculate on what is going on. We'll just follow onward to the next game, which is going to be what's that, Skywalker versus Ahayas and Toki. And this is a game I'm actually very excited for, to see more Skywalker. I'm always happy to see and Hayas and Toki is actually going for the Paul instead of the Armor King here. So we have a lore battle right now, the best friends going at it.
Yeah, no, and again, you know, both players from the Ivory Coast, you know, you have to assume that there is a lot of familiarity here. And we talked about this earlier today. We were going to see things that we weren't expecting from players, you know, due to familiarity or due to, you know, past results. So obviously High Ice and Toki feels something or knows something from previous experience playing against Skywalker. I'm excited to see this, Paul.
It's an interesting matchup as well. I think, you know, one thing that can really decide a matchup is how someone can deal with some of your strongest tools. Someone's Paul's strongest tools or something like that. Death Fist, nice parry there from Skywalker. They're definitely on point. Something like that. Death Fist. Law can get a launch on most of the time with 3+4/4. So, you know, if Skywalker's on point, it's going to be kind of scary. Nice break on the tooth there by Skywalker.
All right. Legend kick block. Nice block on the low there again. Sentoki again called Skywalker out on a habit there. That low after some of those options from DSS has been something Skywalker has gotten away with a lot today. So nice stuff from Sentoki, but Skywalker now with the advantage.
No break on the one throw there. Sentoki in a good position right now. Oh, the parry! No, you can't do that.
Drive. Nice, was standing 4.
That when Lord does back 1+2 like that, he parries like all punches, so you can't do that there. Like, it's a complete auto parry there. Sentoki wasn't ready. He should have run up in the demo man or something. But hindsight, 2020.
All right, now lots of strings coming out from Skywalker, changing up the game plan from game 1 here.
Poison arrow. Nice. Oh, that is -14. That's a launch there for Lord. Wasn't ready though.
Kick his head in, gets the grab.
Banana peel.
Oh, flip. All right. Back to the wall against Paul. This is not where you want to be if you're Skywalker. Nice, gets the demo man.
The first one of the day.
Oh, gets the tackle armbar? Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Doesn't give him a chance to break the punches, going straight for the armbar. And again, very few characters in the game can counter that armbar. Only other like characters with grapples or chain throws. Nice down forward 2 to punish it.
Yeah, but this combo isn't going to work. No, it's not going to be enough to kill, but the forward 1+2 takes it. Nice work here from Sentoki. The pull pick looks like a good idea right now.
Yeah, High Ice and Toki playing very well. Nice, just run up hop kick there, though, from Skywalker. Not having any of it. Hey. Backed off, didn't really commit to anything. Gets it,
Poison
though.
arrow, very nice there. Like that combo as well. Very nice Dragon Hammer.
And they're backflipping. Sitting on this life lead, I like that. Not overcommitting. Gets the slide after the duck.
That's a safe jab kick. Nice blocking the banana peel. Could have had a bigger punish, though. The jab stuffs the raise drive. That should be Skywalker's round, and it is with a nice little jab.
Yeah, no, very, very solid stuff there from High Ice and Toki.
The run-up delayed hop kick there. The Lord delayed hop kick. Looking for something big there.
But
Two-throw, nice break.
Staying alive.
Oh, no launch there. Every single hit of Demo Man is launch punishable.
Nice.
Down 4-3.
Ooh,
The down back
okay.
2. Nice. Gets the counter here there.
Death Fist.
I just want to go for back 2-1. Nice float with the wild sending 4, though. I like the combo as well. Trying to get as much wall carry as possible. Very nice here from Skywalker. Sentoki's back is to the wall. Forward 4-2. Doesn't commit, though. One throw not broken.
Throw. Beautiful.
Making the slide. Poison arrow. 2 throw not broken. What's the follow-up here? Banana peel. Nice block. Can have a bigger punish. Almost steps the race drive. Big full crouch low there. Doesn't work out. 2 throw. Back 1. Skywalker in good position. Oh,
nice
the down forward 2. Not the best combo, though. So damage is going to be not the best. 5 seconds and the flip.
The backflip. And yeah, High Ice and Toki had used that rage. That combo potentially could have killed if that rage art cancel was available. Doesn't break the throw, though. Skywalker will carry this to wall now. All right, what's the Oki now? Stays in. Goes for the high.
This. Great start here from Skywalker. Nice
Beautiful
block on the demo,
launch
man.
punish. Is this going to be a perfect?
I like that combo as well. Knew the wall and the 1 throw. And nice there from Skywalker as he takes the first round. I like it.
Crazy. You know, Skywalker went down 2 rounds and just reverse swept that game 1. So Skywalker on the board 1-0 right now. And remember, this is losers semi-finals. After, you know, that bit of a delay there, we do have the final best of 3 of the day happening. So Skywalker now only 1 game away from potentially advancing on to losers finals. And, you know, getting ever closer to that run back, because the update here from that winners finals match, Shaoling has advanced on to grand finals, so it is Kasakur waiting in that losers finals side. So Skywalker, you know, now if he can advance past High Ice and Toki and past Kasakur, would potentially be in a grand finals against the person who knocked him into losers. But that's not to write off Sentoki. Very solid game 1 there, just got you know, reverse swept, and then Kasakur an active threat as well. So should be interesting to see how this game 2 goes. Do you expect the Paul to stay, or do you expect the Armor King to return?
I think he'll definitely think about the Armor King here. There's nothing wrong with the... I mean, Armor King got him the win to put him here right now. I didn't mind the pull pick. It worked out at the start, but Skywalker just adapted really fast. I mean, there was something known as the Nin theory, is, you know, it takes 2 rounds to download your opponent, and that's kind of what happened there. Skywalker lost the first 2 rounds, just made the comeback, looked super clean, super strong. So you know, let's see if that down is complete or highest, and Toki can make the adaptations here.
Okay. We do have the Infinite now. An interesting position to be in, I think, for either character. More so for Paul. I think a lot of Paul's extremely scary damage does come from that wall. However, a high damage character, regardless, with with a really strong rage drive, with that death fist, and with that rage art cancel mechanic available to him. Nice parry though there from Skywalker, gets the follow up as well.
There's a Dragon Hammer again. The cross frames going.
All right, we flipping. Running knee. Block.
And now Skywalker, this is complete change of pace here right now. Just playing slow, the fake flips, trying to bait Sentoki into something.
Nice
sidestep
step there.
Could have had a lot more though.
Definitely, but either way, any punish is a punish. Right, Skywalker now playing a lot slower, but still on the life deficit right now. All right, chips away. Nice, gets hit by the Demo Man.
10 seconds left to go. The down ones. This is going to like hard. The legend kick, though, huge damage.
Just goes for the tackle into the armbar.
Armbar.
Very nice. And again, going straight for the armbar, I think a very smart decision. Don't give them the chances to break on the punches, but as well, Law, not a character who can reverse that armbar. So very solid decision making from Hayai Sentoki.
Actually, every character can actually break the armbar with 1+2.
Oh, can every character?
yeah.
I was under the impression that only characters with the chain throws could do it.
Some characters can like reverse into like a special option, but every character can break it.
Every
with a
character
1+2.
can break. Okay, there you go. All right, a misinformed commentator.
Again, the huge whiffs opportunities for Skywalker just gone astray. He's not really doing anything with them, but has a small life lead again. But you know, he lost. Okay, there's the slide. Never mind, because he lost it the life lead last time, but this time Skywalker stays on, keeps the pressure going, and takes the round all tied up 1-1.
Oh, nice. Oh, got the float on the backflip with the jab, but wasn't ready to convert there. 1 round apiece right now. Remember, this is our final best of 3 here in this loser's semi-final. Skywalker seems very comfortable, though.
Decisive 3 in the back somehow. I think it was counter hit still as well. That's a 3 again.
Despite the counter hit, I think being back turned, it kind of messed up any potential follow-up. Did not force that crouch.
Nice. Nice finish. Went in for down 4-2, but Sentoki interrupts. Skywalker in rage. Big risk, but no punish there from Sentoki. Is he going to regret not punishing that? The slide.
Rage available to both
frames. Oh, no one's going to hit anyone, right? No one's going to hit anyone, right? Oh my god. So close. 13 seconds left. The rage trap is gone now. Running 3 and Skywalker 1 round away from moving into the losers finals here. This is big.
And that was scary there if you're Hayai Sentoki, because that flip could have clipped him in the back of the head on the way down.
Be kind of funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been funny. Dragon Hammer. Oh, again, Hayai getting these side steps, not launching though, and this is going to be big. Legend kick, almost dead. Rage available though.
For the max damage combo as well. Skywalker jumping back. He knows he has this round in the bag. Can't lose it, right? Looking super good. Just jumping back. He wants the style. He wants the style finish. He wants to finish this in style. I don't know what's him. If I'm Sentoki, I'm scared right now. Demo man, he can launch. Actually, I don't know. 3+4 might not have the range. Regular throw not broken. 20 seconds left.
Available. Ooh, fakes out the low. Nice reaction from Skywalker, though, and he gets the flip. Like you said, that style finish he wanted. And there we go. Skywalker does win that loser's semi-final, will advance onto the loser's final, and now potentially be in contention to move on to the man who eliminated him from the winner's side.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's the kind of end Skywalker's looking for there. But, you know, he shouts out to Hayai Sentoki. Very good showing to get to this point. Played very well. Didn't believe in the Armor King in the end. Wanted to go for pull. I don't mind it. You know, character switch. You know, had a feeling at the time didn't work out, but you know we'll be going to our losers final next. And you know, Skywalker, the guy everyone expected to be performing well here today. That's exactly what he did. Exactly what he gave us. So, you know, a great showing, and he'll continue to move forward.
Absolutely, but you know, here we have our updated leaderboard.
Oh no, it looks like we're going straight to the grand finals. Kaseko has been disqualified.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So just like... So there was a bit of a dispute going on over there. Unfortunately, Kaseko will be disqualified from the tournament. So we're going to a grand final, which is going to be a run back. Skywalker versus Shaolin. It was the winners final of their pool. This is the person who put Skywalker into losers bracket. It's going to be the longest set. So, you know, this is it. It's all Ivory Coast in the finals. No surprises to anyone involved. But yeah, you know, Shaolin, like this is the best case scenario. Like these are the two sort of highlighted to me going into it that we're really excited, looking forward to. So let's see if Skywalker can reset the bracket, take it all the way, or if Shaolin is just gonna take it in the end. However, you know, for in Kaseiko's defense, he said today his objective was to win all of his games. Technically, he didn't lose. You know, technically he kept to that. So you know, a man of his word. Yeah.
But you know, very solid performances throughout the day. But guys, remember that you can pick up these sick Tenno Media officially licensed Tekken shirts. Good ass Tekken there with Law on the logo, as well as the King one that will come up in a second. Go to tenno.gg/merch or scan that QR code on your screen if you want to pick those up. Both of these shirts are back in stock, and there is the rest of the range available as well. And of course, you know, big shout out as always to BNE Esports and the Tekken official socials. Go follow BNE Esports on Twitter and YouTube, and the Tekken official on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook to keep up with all Tekken Online Challenge news. Again, this is, you know, the West African Online Masters event. We will have online masters running for the different regions all the way through to the end of October, and then from November all the way through to January we have the regional finals. So big shout out to Bandai Namco Entertainment and to Tenno Media. But you will join us for that grand finals after we have a short break, so don't go anywhere, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Tekken Online Challenge West Africa. You just saw, you know, the ad reel there for 3 upcoming Bandai Namco Entertainment titles. We have Elden Ring, Scarlet Nexus, and Tales of Arise. Man, I'm really excited for Elden Ring. I don't know about you, Kwis. Are you a FromSoft man?
I'm really looking forward to Elden Ring. That game on there has been, it's on my 2022. That game is going to be all I spend my time doing. I've been meaning to pick up Scarlet Nexus for literally the longest time, and I just haven't done it yet. But I will eventually do it because, you know me, I'm a huge weeb, so I can't wait to I can't wait to get my hands on that.
And like, I think Tales of Arise is really exciting as well, because I know like friends of mine personally, big fans of the series, and you know, a really long running RPG series. And I think the whole idea of being able to do a full, you know, multi-100-hour long RPG potentially in co-op is so sick. So, you know, honestly, really cool to see all these games coming up. So very big thank you to Bandai Namco Entertainment for, you know, putting in the work and letting us get a little glimpse. And, you know, of course, to Astro as well for being the official headset and mix amp of the Tekken Online Challenge. We've been listening in style, listening in crisp audio quality throughout this and all of our other Tekken Online events throughout the year. So big shout out to them, as always, for supporting Tekken. Honestly, one of the most staunch, like, sponsors for anything Tekken related for the longest time I can think of.
Yeah, you can always count on some support from Astro when it comes to Tekken events. But yeah, this is it. We are now at our grand finals here for West Africa, and it's been a hard fought day. You see there, our grand final is going to be Shaolin versus Skywalker. This is the person who put Skywalker into the losers bracket. This is, you know, Skywalker walking to the event. This is the guy everyone was worried about, the guy you should be scared of. You know, he had his highlight role going into this is the guy who Spag says one of the best lore players, you know, in the world, someone to be literally worried about going into this event. But Shaolin was able to take him out earlier with the Ling, so I'm expecting he'll bring back the Ling as well, and he did it in pretty stylish fashion as well, so hopefully we get to see more of that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And of course, there's your dates for all of our online Masters events that we do have all the way up to the end of October, and they will lead into our regional finals events from November through to the start of next year, that early January dates for Korea and North America. And of course, Masters events worth a lot of points. Today, our winner will get 300 points. There's only a few people currently with points in the West African region from dojo events, but today is what matters for sure, and for all of the other regions as well. These Masters are where you really want to shine. So, you know, it's important to keep an eye on, and, you know, if you're excited to watch some more good tech, and keep those dates in mind.
Yeah, and make sure you guys also sign up on the Tekken Online Challenge esports portal as well. So when you do win events, you do get awarded those points. You guys can also be awarded some nice Tekken merchandise you see have here as well. You can scan that QR code or visit tenno.gg/merch as well. We do have a lore in the grand final, so it's the only thing we have lore, you know, features one of the main shirts here back in stock. The same for the King shirt as well, also back in stock. So 2 of the more popular Tekken characters, so it's nice to see them on some nice merch here. So that is it. We are now going to be shortly moving into our grand final, Skywalker versus Shaolin. Is it all Ivory Coast domination for the grand finals, kind of what we expected? And nice to see some strong players representing from Togo as well. That was sort of the rivalry we were expecting. Also, nice to see Kaseko representing Benin for a little bit. So, you know, we got to see that in there. So, a top 3 that's not entirely Ivory Coast as well. We get to see some diversity as well. But, you know, a great showing to all the players, you know, we got to see here today. You know, a region that doesn't really normally get the shine that other regions do. So, it's nice that they get this This here in Skywalker and Shaoling will be standing at the top of the region, and they are ready to put on a show for you guys here.
Yeah, no, and we saw it there. It is coming up very, very shortly. So Shaoling did get the better of Skywalker earlier today, and I think that's going to be in Skywalker's mind. And this is where, you know, the debate always comes in. You know, is it better to be well, obviously it's better, you know, in one aspect to be the person on winner's side in this grand finals. You know, you have much more security, you can afford to lose more games, you are more rested. But on the other side of that coin, Skywalker has gotten to play more games, he's more warmed up. And which do you think is going to matter more here in the run back?
I think Skywalker in certain situations actually just got kind of unfortunate against Shaoling. It wasn't like he got completely outplayed. Some punishes that he whiffed, but he shows that he knew the matchup, he knew what to do. He just messed up sometimes in himself, and those are things that are very easy to correct. So I'm hoping he's ready to make those adaptations, he's ready to correct himself. And as we look through the Vermilion gates here, you know, going through the big gate, you see the building at the back there was, you know, the teaser for Kunimitsu originally. I remember that we just saw Kunimitsu stand there bidding, we're like, who's it gonna be? And then turned up being Kunimitsu. An excellent break there to start with Shaoling, breaks the tooth throw. It's gonna be a good set.
All right, nice duck and the wild standing punish there from Shaoling, coming in strong to start. Nice little life lead already here. Could have whiff punish there, but you know, perhaps wary of that second hit from the string.
Again, Skywalker threatening slide there. We haven't seen him use it much today, but I figure there's any time to pull out, it is now. Nice. Pushing the back. Oh, could have had the full junkyard string for a nice launch, but Skywalker gets the launch anyway. Going to go to the wall.
Hey,
combo for Oki. Nice use of the parry. Doesn't get the wall splat though. Thought he'd be closer. Dragon Hammer. Nice low parry there from Shaoling. Extra damage with the rage attached. Big whiff. Excellent whiff punish there from Skywalker. Perfect start.
Yeah, no, really nice. And the legend kick there, feeling himself a little bit after that first round. Shaoling, a bit of a brave attempt for that low parry, was successful, but we've seen Skywalker happily throwing out Dragon Hammers like there's no tomorrow. So Shaoling took a bit of a gamble. Ooh, okay, the run would have caught that.
That's one way to get your back away from the wall, but the side step 4 gets a count hit. Not going to be dead. Going to be very close there. One more hit does it for Shaoling. And okay, the block. That's not the punish though. Skywalker just staying alive right now.
Oh my god.
4-4.
Oh my god,
there's no way he makes this comeback.
He has rage.
Stomp.
Oh my god.
Okay. Is he going to carry to the wall? He's going to carry to the next wall. Junkyard combo. The stomp. Oh my god! And just like that, Skywalker makes the impossible comeback.
Oh no, and you have to know Skywalker is feeling on cloud 9 right now. Shaoling will feel very rough after that, but staying alive here, not letting it get to him too much. Nice block on the slide, and there we go. Completely reset that mental advantage. Shaoling still in your head. Nice evasion there, gets the launch. Screw.
Very nice there.
All right, very nice stuff. Gets around back on the board, does Shaoling, and that's how you turn around after a comeback like that. Hop kicks him out of the down back too, though. Very nice stuff from Skywalker. Jab.
Okay. Dragon Hammer keeping the plus frames going in the back. Back 4 didn't finish the string. Big whiff on Poison Arrow. Nice punish. No block on the back turn sweep. Skywalker now has the life lead down back 2. It easily changed though. Dragon Hammer. Down by 2 gets a count hit this time. Tries to flip out. Doesn't work this time. Could have been very bad, but Shaoling wasn't ready. Back 4 doesn't finish it. The hop kick doesn't want to respect the back turn. 1, 2, 3. Last second 1 doesn't finish it. Nice whiff punish there. Down 4, 3. One more hit does it. Down, back 3, and Skywalker finally gets game on the board against Shaoling.
Yeah, and that is very, very important if you're Skywalker. Getting that game 1 win when you're on the loser's side grand finals is so important for that early momentum, because you don't want to already be on the back foot when you have to win 2 sets against someone, especially someone like Shaoling, who's been performing so on form all day, and does have the option of that very well practiced Master Raven to switch to as well. But of course, these two will be very familiar with each other. You can be sure that no matter which character is on the screen, Skywalker is going to be ready for them. So this is just going to be a lot of back and forth player adaptation at this point.
Yeah, I really like that as well. I think that huge comeback from Skywalker shows just how mentally prepared he is for this game. A lesser player would have just sort of accepted defeat in that situation. They need 1 round, but He stayed active. He started playing a bit more crazy, got a bit more wild, and he's able to make that comeback. And winning the first game, we're down the lose side of grand finals is always a good statement to make. You do have to win more games, need to win more sets. So starting off on the front foot and making your opponent get a bit more scared, it is one of the better ways to start grand finals.
Absolutely. I think very, very solid performance there from Skywalker, but from Xiaoling as well. Xiaoling had some solid rounds in there. And, absolutely, like you said, Xiaoling winning that set earlier by no means suggests any sort of superiority. I think both of these players are very close in level. They both clearly play each other a lot. And a lot of this is coming down to really small decisions that are creating huge openings. So both of these players really going to be putting in work for the rest of this set. If you're Skywalker, though, you want this game too. You want a clean 2-0 to start off a grand finals from loser's side. He is aiming for the sweep, but that's always the goal. We have the Mishima Dojo pick coming out here from Xiaoling, though, and it took a while, but you were eventually right. Mishima Dojo was the stage. Kawis.
I told you we'd see Mishima Dojo.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's one of the smaller stages in the game. I think a good place to be in. I think both characters will benefit with the walls in play. And I think Xiaoling has noticed that, so just decides to keep them in. Nice. Okay. I like that again there from Skywalker. Blocks it down back 2, doesn't mind to go for the punish, waits and then does Dragon Hammer because he knows you can just turn around and parry feeling.
Yeah, and we did see Xiaoling do that. So again, yeah, like you said, very, very solid option from Skywalker. That time didn't get the counter hit launch because Xiaoling just opted for the parry rather than, one of the stance transition into a button. But Skywalker, healthy life lead right now. Banana peel hits.
Just flipping backwards, running through the plus frames. Down back 2, nice, gets the float, should go to the wall as well. The death palm, very nice start here for Xiaoling, could steal this round. Rage blow for both. Tries the wild setting, 2 out of nowhere. Went for the risk, no reward. Xiaoling takes the first round.
Yeah, and after a very strong start there from Skywalker, Xiaoling managing to turn it back, that death palm really opened up doors. And I think I respect Xiaoling going for another one, expecting Skywalker to get up and block low. Nice. Okay, yeah, that palm again. Doing work.
Nice step and a punish. Down back 2. Nice lively here for Xiaoling, but we know Skywalker can make these comebacks, and this could be the beginning of it. Doesn't get the wall like he wanted, though. Poison arrow the plus frames. Poison arrow again.
Nice break on the throw. Nice punish, though, and goes for the Rage Art here. I like that. Doesn't want to mess about. Just get your clean damage.
I feel like a regular wall combo would have done more damage there. Is he going to regret that? He's not, because back 2 seals it there. Very nice there from Skywalker.
You don't want to die with resources. I think Skywalker maybe just wanted to get guaranteed damage in there. You have a bit of time to think.
For the
back turn hop kick whiffed.
Didn't work out. And nice gets the float with 1 down 2. Not going to be a clean wall splat. Not going to be wall splat at all. Down 4. Here come the lows now. Nice block right back there from Skywalker. Both these two are poking away at each other right now, just flipping away from danger. Doesn't want anything. Back 1, 2. No punish there. Is that last hit to worry about on that string. Nice Dragon Hammer. Stuffing AOP.
Nice Dragon Hammer again. And I like that. Like you kind of pointed out earlier, Skywalker quite content to be patient and just wait, throw out Dragon Hammers every so often. Wants to force Xiaoling to respect it.
Nice use of AOP that time. Things looking very scary. And a nice block and the down back 2 whiff, so he gets a clean punish on it. And Rage Art just to be a bit extra safe there, I guess.
Yeah, no, just making sure you don't give yourself any opportunity to drop that there. 3 seconds left on the clock. Very nice stuff from Skywalker, stays alive and potentially looking at taking a second game now on this loser's side. If Skywalker can make this 2-0, then that is looking really good for him for the potential reset.
Yeah, look at this great start here by Skywalker.
Nice parry, and guess... Ooh.
Nice use of the auto parry there. Dragon Cannon gets the wall. He doesn't do the right combo to peel off the wall, so he's not going to get the kill. Skywalker with a huge life lead. And the down for 1 float. This should be the round. The jabs just to keep it extra safe. And Skywalker 2 games up right now, looking like he is poised and ready to take the reset.
Yeah, no, very nice stuff there from Skywalker, and I think perhaps a cleaner game 2 there than game 1. I think, not as close. So Skywalker feeling himself now and really getting that momentum going. I think when you're coming from that loser side, getting those first 2 wins is huge, because now, you're giving Xiaoling a lot to think about, potentially facing down a clean 3-game loss into the reset, and then you're on even footing. If you're Xiaoling in this position now you start sweating, even having that winner side advantage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's playing very well. He's doing what he should have done the first time. He's forcing Xiaoling on the back foot, making him take the guesses. His forces mix up the slide of finally being let loose, and that just makes those mids a lot stronger. That while saying to, I'm scared of it now. If I'm Xiaoling, I'm be a bit scared, start guessing for my life. Maybe a character switch could be on the cards here.
Yeah, no, for sure. That Raven's still in the pocket. We were going to see that earlier, didn't quite happen, but, still an option that Xiaoling can consider. And there's an argument to be made for whether or not at this point you just stick with the Ling and try to make those adaptations, or if you do risk the character pick. But I think, game 3 on the losers side of grand finals still, pre-reset side of grand finals, not a bad time to do it. This is a good time for Xiaoling to decide whether or not it's worth it. You pick it, you win, great, it worked out. You lose, that's fine. Go back to Ling for the final set.
Yes, this is probably going to be really important for information here, because the cards are showing it's most likely going to be a reset. So I feel like just see the character works. Maybe just try a stage here.
It goes for the stage. Yeah, it goes for the stage, sticks with Ling. And we saw the Abandoned Temple pick from Xiaoling earlier as well. So again, wants to keep those walls in play, but still wants that extra bit of room to move around. It is a much bigger stage.
I mean, this is actually where Xiaoling beat Skywalker earlier when they played in the winners final of their pool. So we're just getting the environment back in place might do wonders for his mentality.
If you want to be a winner, you have to see the stage of a winner. All right.
Okay, nice. That AOP is doing wonders to beat that running 3 there and gets the back turn mid-thrust every single time. Very nice.
And what's interesting as well about a stage like Abandoned Temple is you have very strange walls, very unusual walls. Some of the corners and the awkward angles can be very odd unless you are familiar with them.
Nice. While standing 2 counter hit, though, Xiaoling gets on the board first time.
Yeah, and very clean round 1 there. Xiaoling firmly in control. Who knows, maybe that mental advantage of I won here earlier really is coming into play. I think that was a mess up on the flip there, actually.
I said that bomb.
Yeah, no.
Down forward 2 his troubles away.
Down forward 2 until it works. Nice Dragon Hammer, using that to try and get pressure going. Running 3 from Xiaoling blocked. Now, nice parry from Skywalker and gets the follow-up as well. Big life deficit right now. Rage available, though.
Oh, when he tried a big risk with the wild standing full flip kick, didn't work out.
Yeah.
But not the best whiff punish on it, though. Xiaoling could have killed with maybe a shoulder launch, but I don't know. Still, even though winning, not the sharpest right now.
All right, 2 rounds up, though. Is Xiaoling in this game 3 potentially looking at getting a game on the board? And if you're Skywalker, you would rather not let that happen, right? You want this reset to be clean as possible, but Xiaoling getting all these breaks now. That's 3 throws in a row.
Skywalker taking a lot of risks right now. One launch ends it for both players even.
Nice block. And again, a break on the 1+2 throw. This is huge for Xiaoling, not letting Skywalker break in.
1, 2.
Could have been a big whiff punish there. Skywalker has rage available.
Down back 2 and one more hit does it, and
gets hit.
That's something that Xiaoling has scoured. After down back 2 on hit, Skywalker has been mashing quite a bit, and that time was on counter hit. You have no frames to take there, especially with the toe stun animation. So Xiaoling is on the board right now in dominating fashion. So that was a very nice gameplay there from Xiaoling to answer back to those 2 games Skywalker took so fast.
Yeah, no, for sure. And now I'd wonder, are we going to see Skywalker go back to that Dragon's Nest pick from earlier? Because I believe that worked out quite well for him previously. And again, that shorter distance between walls in the stage, again, the octagonal shape, a lot more walls potentially to hit. And I think, just if you want to optimize the amount of time you're spending next to walls and the potential for damage, that is a good shout for him. So it's either that, could argue for the dojo again, potentially even an infinite, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, Skywalker, the fun really begins when the walls get in play for him. We saw him that huge comeback wouldn't have been possible and without the walls in place. Hopefully, we get to see more of that here right now. And like you said, he maybe goes for the Dragon's Nest. That's been a great pick, but that stage is also pretty good for Ling. She can set up her infinite pretty easy on the stage, because of the way the walls are. So hopefully, we do get to see more of that. But Skywalker, all he needs is one more game, just one, and he resets the bracket. For Shaoling, he needs 2 more games, and that is to win the tournament. So it's like, even if you win this one, Skywalker, you still have a mountain ahead of you. And Shaoling just showed in that last game he's ready to keep things competitive. He can still win. He's still ready to go. So, hopefully he's able to do that here.
Yeah, as you said, that previous game there was quite dominant from Shaoling, and I think after going down 2-0, did not really show any signs of fear, any signs of stopping. But we have Jungle Outpost 2 coming out from Skywalker, and that is also an interesting pick. Again, pretty short distance between most walls on this stage, but with the added benefit of the balcony break and a wall break on the lower side of the stage as well.
Yeah, exactly. And when that wall is broken on like the final on after the balcony break, it makes Jungle Outpost 2 or Jungle Outpost in general one of the biggest stages in the entire game. There's so much room to play around with. So if we get to see how these two use that space, should we get to it.
Definitely. But on this top side before the balcony break, long horizontally, but generally speaking, not too far to go in any direction for a wall. Nice, gets the back turned Junkyard. Love to see it. Optimal. Okay, he didn't get a clean splat. He was just a little bit too far away, but very nice there. Skywalker dominant first round. And that's what you want to see if you're Skywalker, potentially looking at taking game 3 and resetting this bracket. Can Shaoling stay alive here?
Yeah, especially like you said, every round he wins is that much closer to reset point and take us to another best of 5 here. Shaoling isn't going to want to let that happen. You want to kill Skywalker as fast as possible.
Skywalker, absolutely a momentum machine, very aggressive player. Nice sidestep again, and you see now Skywalker lateral movement coming into play a lot more this game. Poison arrow, nice break on the throw. If you're Shaoling there, that could have been fatal.
Okay, here we go now. Let's get the wall bounce. This is what Shaoling needs. Go for some fights off the Roo kicks. Hits grounded, very nice. Poison arrow, you need to get your back away from the breaker wall. Get away from there, Shaoling. Get away!
And he goes for Dragon Tail into the Rage Drive. And 2 rounds up right now is Skywalker. Potential set point here. Potential reset point for Skywalker. Shaoling really needs to turn this around.
The best Rage Drive in the game. And now look at this. Skywalker has all of the momentum moving forward, okay? Shaoling can't break the wall. This now, Skywalker. The wall bounce. This is the beginning.
And we've seen Skywalker do that before. Delay that third hit. Get the wall bounce. Clean wall splat as well. What's the Oki? Gets the slide.
One more hit does it. One more hit does it. And down 4-3. Skywalker has reset the bracket. We have one more first to 3. Very nice showing here from Skywalker.
Very, very nice stuff. And I think Skywalker, even after taking that loss there to Shaoling, just completely turned it around. And we saw that lateral movement coming in big time in those first couple rounds, completely blew up Shaoling trying to come in on the offense. So that's, quite an interesting game to end on for that bracket reset, because now Skywalker, they're both back to even footing, 0-0, no advantage on either side. And Skywalker has all the momentum going into this new set.
And and this is interesting as well. This is now the final set of the day. We mentioned it earlier. Shaoling was the one that put Skywalker into loose bracket. That was the last game we saw of the top 8 qualifying matches. Skywalker's got the revenge. That's the first part. He's won the set, but now he has to go ahead and win the entire tournament and is there for the taking. If I'm Shaoling, I'm going to be a bit worried now. And I think the Master Raven switch is definitely on the cards at this point.
Do you think, going by that game we just saw, that perhaps Skywalker is too ready for the Ling now?
I don't even think, we're not really seeing Shaoling get going with the Ling. We're not really seeing some of the stuff come out. But, what I just feel like Master Raven, you've just got to see. You've just got to see how that goes instead. Ling is just not working right now. He's not really getting anything started. When he does get started, it's like, oh, it's working. This is nice. I'm having fun. But for the most part, Skywalker is shutting him down. So if I'm him, I'm going to need to think about switching. I'm going to need to think about the Master Raven. It's a lot easier to get your game going. So let's see how that goes.
All right. And we do have the Master Raven switch has come out here for Xiaoling. So game 1 of the new set, fresh 0-0, Law versus Raven. So how do you feel about this as a matchup, Kawis?
I think the matchup is still kind of in Law's favor. Master Raven has a lot of -14, like stuff like a Wasin one, a very important tool. Law will get a launch on that. So I do think it is kind of in Law's favor, but it depends how Xiaoling plays it. We haven't seen the Master Raven yet all day. This is our first time seeing it. And nice block there, but no, Master Raven doesn't have a 15-frame launcher. She cannot launch down 2-3.
And it's very interesting. You have to imagine Skywalker is well aware of that fact. Probably the reason he was so happy to throw it out.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's going to be a difference in this matchup as well. When you think about it, when it comes to down 2-3, you can't launch it if you're Raven. Normally launch for most characters. And nice, there it is. He's been doing the slide so well. Finally threatens that mid, gets the launcher, gets the wall. Junkyard, first round to Skywalker. He's keeping that momentum.
And this is very, very, very positive. If you're Skywalker, Xiaoling now has to be sweating bullets. And you mentioned if you can't get launched for something, why not throw it out? What are they gonna do? Mid you?
Okay, this is a great start here now from Skywalker. The Dragon Hammer as well, still keeping it going. Dragon Hammer again.
Oh my
God. Banana Peel gets the counter. Look at the dash here. Skywalker definitely confident right now. Nice block there. And he's just walls to the wall action right now. Nice break on the 2 throw. He needed that. Okay, gets a count here. Gonna be nice damage here. Raven has some nice wall combos.
Yeah, no, and nice rage drive, clips him just about. Xiaoling gets on the board, makes it 1 round apiece in this game 1 in our new set, so very important round there for Xiaoling. You mentioned though that wall damage. Raven, ever since Tekken 7 came out, consistently has some of the best wall damage in the game, and we could see that come to fruition here.
1 throw, nice break on the throw. Xiaoling has been very consistent with those throw breaks.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think throughout this entire set, Skywalker has landed 1, maybe 2 throws at most, and that has been very, very important for Xiaoling. Nice optimization here. Goes for the back turn, fakes it out.
And the patience, very nice.
Nice back 2. Beautiful stuff. All right, Xiaoling staying alive. All right, the Master Raven switch now working out, adapting well to Skywalker after that dominant first round. Dragon Hammer.
Yes, the plus frame's going that down by 4.
All right, chipping away with lows.
Big lows coming out now for Xiaoling. Just really chipped away, built a life lead purely off of the lows right now. Great start here for Xiaoling. And he take the first game in the reset would really nullify Skywalker's momentum. He was doing so good before the reset, but Master Raven, a different beast right now.
Absolutely nice.
All in the back.
Okay.
Just threatening the slide, mix up down 4-3. Skywalker both in rage right now, and nice use of the back handspring into the rage drive. Makes the option with Xiaoling really showing out the Raven right now. It's a shame he got this far without us seeing the Raven. It's a real revelation right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, going through that first set there, despite that dominant game 3 win for Xiaoling, definitely looked more so in Skywalker's favor. So, I think you had the right call here. I think the Raven at this point, just change up the game a bit. And Xiaoling definitely still has to play around that threat of being -14, doesn't want to play into Skywalker's hands, but has been doing a very good job of that. I think both players are definitely kind of chipping away a lot with lows, a bit more than they have been. Certainly Skywalker wasn't as committed to Dragon Hammer that game as he was against Ling, but we are still seeing it thrown out quite a bit. So if you're Skywalker now, maybe you go back to the Jungle Outpost, maybe you go back to Dragon's Nest, but there is no character switch on the cards as far as I'm aware of, or as far as I'm concerned. I think Skywalker more so than anyone today has the least reason to doubt the law.
Yeah, I think it's mainly a case of just that new characters come out for the first time, or he hasn't played against Raven all day, just needs to wipe off the dust. By the time this is over, he's definitely going to know how to deal with this. So just plays a G-Corp helipad. Just goes for a stage switch. I like this. Keep those walls in play. Raven very good at the walls, but so is Law, and especially Starbreaker. He just needs some time to adapt to this. I think he'll be fine if he just keeps things going. It's just you have to play at a different pace against the Raven than you did against the Ling. Dragon Hammer was just so good at stuffing most of her pressure because when she goes AMP, Dragon Hammer, Dragon Hammer, Dragon Hammer. That isn't the same with the Raven. She's still very evasive, but she can get around stuff like that a bit easier.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, just really sick view of the stage here before our game starts. Love to see it. But here we go. Game 2 of our reset set. This is our final best of 5 of the game. Skywalker, made that 3-1 reset of this bracket. So Xiaoling now trying to stay alive. Got that game 1. Getting run down right now. Both players trading a lot of hits. Oh, nice duck and beautiful punish. The legend kick.
Legend kick straight away, instantly. Very nice there from Skywalker.
Yeah, no, Xiaoling rolled backwards. Wasn't ready to have to block that legend kick, I don't think. Stood right up into it.
Oh, nice. That's actually a bit of an option select there for the high on the string using down back 2. Brunas and there from Xiaoling. Nice chase
flow.
down. Awesome. Gets the float. Doesn't get the wall though.
Drops the 4-1 string trade there. Hop kick coming out from Skywalker is blocked. Nice duck. Doesn't get the punish that time. Nice sidestep. Xiaoling playing very well.
Comeback 2 is doing a lot for Skywalker for Xiaoling here. Just like that Skywalker. Taking the big risks again. Didn't work out that time.
Yeah, okay. Went for the spinneroonie. Got caught though.
Nice combo going to the wall. Dragon Cannon and then Dragon Hammer to follow up. No duck on down by 2-2.
All right.
Spinneroonie. Nice block and punish there from Skywalker. Made to confirm as well. Wasn't sure that was a punish. Legend kick plus frames. Poison arrow plus frames. Legend kick plus frames.
Xiaoling now fighting out, has rage available, gets clipped in the back of the head though. Skywalker 2-1 right now, wants to make this 1-1, wants to tie it up. Again, you don't want your opponent running away with a 2-0 lead in a best of 5.
And then went for that wild standing one. That is a big risk against Law. Is -14, but not the best punish there from Skywalker.
Nice, that down back 2, like you said, doing so much work in neutral here. All right, Skywalker backing off. Minor life lead, but not wanting to overcommit. I respect it. Down forward 1. Nice, chipping away at Xiaoling. Nice. Okay, the spinneroonie again, Booker T.
All right, let's be back to Skywalker. Spinneroonie now at the life deficit. Rage available. Back 4-3 just finishes it the double, but nice block there from Xiaoling. Things looking good right now. This round is so important. This difference between 2-0 and 1-1 on the scoreboard. Again, another great break there from Xiaoling.
And Xiaoling wants this 2-0 lead because if you're Xiaoling now, this gives you many more games to have stage pick advantage, even on loss. Lets you consider switching back to the lane. Gets the throw.
No
huge life lead right now.
Down back 2-2, and Xiaoling wins it in a perfect. This is a real nice start here. I feel like the Master Raven has been an absolute revelation for him, and he just needs one more game. After getting dominated before the reset, switches to the Raven, and things are looking so good right now. If I'm Skywalker, I'm going to have to start thinking about something different.
Yeah, no, 100%. And, this is crazy because we saw Xiaoling knock Skywalker into losers earlier on to qualify for top 8 with the Ling. And now, kept it competitive in that first grand final set. Went down 3-1 though. But now the Master Raven, like you said, revelation, such a change of pace, a completely different game plan that Skywalker has to prepare for. And I think we're seeing Xiaoling do an excellent job of playing around that disadvantage of the extra fear of being at -14, using a lot of down back 2, playing a lot of small neutral with the jabs, but getting a lot of mileage out of lows, which is something that Raven doesn't typically do aside from the spinneroonie, which of course it has been doing God's work so far.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the way Xiaoling is sort of adapted here. Some players don't need to switch characters; they just need to switch the way they play. But their character switch has been absolutely amazing here for Xiaoling, and Skywalker is is for the first time really on the back foot right now, so this is a bit scary to deal with them. And I just thought, what would be like a dream matchup for me. I feel like I want to see one of the West Africans. You've got obviously the Ivorian thing. So I want to see Skywalker go against one of the top players from North America versus Anakin. That's the game I want to see.
Yeah, no, that would be really, really sick. I'm sure that has surely happened somewhere before. But
I'm just
hold on. You
Okay, the
said
Negan.
he needed to consider something different, and Negan is very, very different. You want to talk about neutral? You want to talk about jabs?
I didn't expect this at all. I didn't know he had another character that he could go to, and I mean, it's interesting to say the least. I feel like the law could have still worked, but he went for Negan instead.
Yeah, no, who knows what this is about, but again, these players know each other, they'd be familiar with the region. All right, immediate attempt for the throw there from Skywalker, but Xiaoling still breaking. And that's something that has been really key to Xiaoling's success so far, is not getting hit by throws.
So one thing I do want to keep in mind that's quite interesting, you have to see how well Xiaoling knows the Negan matchup now. This is a character that I think is very underrated, not too bad in this game, and is different to deal with. He's not the same as a lot of characters, but it looks like so far that Xiaoling doesn't care with this start.
Nice, the back turn power crush there. And that's interesting to note. Xiaoling didn't really commit to that option against Law. Quite happy to do it against Negan.
Yeah, great start here, by Xiaoling. Only 2 more rounds to be your TOC West African Masters champion. Scout, can he make something happen? Make it happen fast.
Okay. With the 2 strings coming out.
2, nice. Lights out on the floor. Nice chase down there by Skywalker. Could be the round if the wall doesn't get in the way. Does nothing.
Interesting.
1-1.
I wonder why no back 1+2 there.
Probably wasn't as confident. I mean, this isn't his main by any means. So probably just see that huge whip punch opportunity does nothing. It's just like you have to think a bit extra when you're playing a character that isn't your main. Do something you're not normally used to. Huge lively for Skywalker, but is he gonna throw this away? He's doing nothing. He's being too passive right now. The jab interrupts.
And again, that Master Raven Rage Drive, one of the scariest things to get hit by. Nice, gets the launcher from the stance. Okay, we'll go to
damage
wall.
as well. No, the wall's right there. Is he just going to stay down? 5 seconds?
Okay, no. He chose to get up, went for while standing 4. I think got a bit lucky there. Skywalker very, very close to just throwing that away. Nice block on the down forward 2. Goes for the back turn sweep, does Xiaoling, and this is going to be big. Oh no, doesn't get the clean splat.
But again, another sweep. This can be huge damage. No, not the best combo conversions, but he stays down and Xiaoling takes a perfect, and he is now on tournament point against Skywalker, the guy we expected to go all the way.
Okay, nice. Magic 4 there interrupts the string. I respect the hustle. Xiaoling, big damage potential, and Oki, nice block though while standing 2.
Sweeped way too many times. Skywalker's ready this time. Going to be a sidewall this time. Yep.
Hey, there it is.
Nice. Down back 2. That's a back turn throw. It's regular though. Oh no.
Getting chipped away.
Rage drive. First hit whiffs. Nice.
And the duck
there from Xiaoling, and he will take it. The TOC Masters champion for West Africa over Skywalker, everyone's favorite going into it. Maybe the law should have been the pick, but it looks like Negan is going to be what works out, and Xiaoling's going to be your champion.
Yeah, no, very, very solid performance there from Xiaoling and throughout the day. Knocked Skywalker down into losers earlier and, was looking a bit rough again. Skywalker reset that bracket, took a very dominant looking set with the rematch with the Law versus Ling. But yeah, no, went for the Negan pick there in the end. I think perhaps a bit questionable, didn't look too comfortable. I think maybe just needed to take the time to make those adaptations stick with the Law. But either way, as you said, Xiaoling, very solid performance, is your West African Tekken Online Challenge champion. Will get those sweet 300 points, but hey, second place is a really good spot to be in if you're Skywalker as well. Both players will be very happy. They're very, very well positioned now going into those regional finals.
Yeah, and you have to think, Skywalker played amazingly to get this to this point. So dominant, against that thing. You see all the highlights here from before the reset. Even the race was hitting, everything was hitting. Had that amazing comeback in the first game, but Xiaoling, the moment he made that switch to the Raven, everything changed. The momentum clearly in his favor. Skywalker just didn't know how to approach.
Yeah, and remember as well, what's so bizarre about how clean this set was for Shaoling is that that first round was all Skywalker. Skywalker absolutely dominated the Raven round one and then just seemed to fall apart. So Shaoling, excellent adaptation throughout there, played really, really well, completely played around that major weakness in the matchup that you pointed out early on, and just, you know, took it in the end. So very, very solid stuff. And from everyone else who got into that top 8 qualified, you see there your standings. Shaoling takes it as your champion. Skywalker a very, very close second. A lot of respect for those two players. Of course, you know, we had Kasakur earlier on representing Benin with the Eliza. We had Hai Sentoki with the Armor King. I really enjoyed watching Sentoki. He took out the Paul as well. And of course, Akia and Gargos as well. Carter, just really, really consistently solid play throughout the day, KWS. I'm very, very impressed. And I think, you know, myself and I'm sure a lot of other people learned a lot about this region.
Yeah, it was really definitely great to see, and we're going to see how that affects the leaderboards moving forward as well. You know, this is now these are what the people are playing for. Like, obviously, yeah, the top 8 from today have now filled out the bracket, considering that's how the points have made leveled out. So make sure you guys also, if you're competing, sign up in the Tekken Online Challenge esports portal. So if you compete, you do get your points, and you know, it's nice to see here. You know, the flagged as well. You know, no surprising to see a lot of Ivory Coast in there, but you know, Togo as well, sort of. Showing that they can compete as well. You know, Kaseko represented the lone Benin representative, you know, doing so well today, and said he had one objective going today, win all of his matches, and technically he did that. So yeah, you do have to shout him out for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, you know, it would have been interesting to see how that could have gone otherwise. But very, very solid stuff from all players involved. And just a quick shout out again, guys, a reminder to follow BNE Esports on Twitter and YouTube, and follow the Tekken official on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook to keep up with all your Tekken Online Challenge news, all Tekken related news in general. And yeah, no, it has been an absolute pleasure commentating this Tekken Online Challenge for West Africa. KWS, it's been a pleasure as always commentating with you.
Thanks. Yeah, that means so much to me. But yeah, no, it was a great event we had today. Nib Zero, right? It was nice doing with you. But yeah, you know, it's nice to see these players, you know, get the shine they don't normally get. Hopefully, you know, you guys check out these players' socials for them as well. They gave us one hell of a show. Shaoling and Skywalker, definitely names I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to moving forward, and I do want that Skywalker versus Anakin match someday, because that's just going to be absolutely amazing. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you to Nibs for commentating with me. Thank you for production for, you know, holding us down here today. Thanks you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys at the next event.